today's session of breakthrough multi-concept data analysis training for January 2024 cohort. This is the training we've been planning for like 1 or 2 months now. Most of us have been following, and today is the D-Day. As you all know, that the first 2 days of breakthrough multi-concept training will be open to everyone to learn 1 or 2 things. I believe there is no knowledge that is waste, even if you have not paid or you don't have the capacity to pay. We know in a way we're able to impact your life and add value to you within the 2 days. The timetable, the timetable for this session is going to go like this. So we have like 10 weeks for the program, and the program starts with Excel. We have Microsoft Excel, Power BI, SQL, then followed by Python and Tableau. So thereafter, the virtual internship is going to take a form of projects. We're going to give like 8 to 10 projects to you to practice. Because when you learn within 10 weeks, you can't become a pro unless somebody wants to deceive you. You can't become a pro, you can't become an expert in 10 weeks. You will learn what you need. You only become pro or expert with practices. It's when you practice and you handle projects single-handedly that you can be confident that you've understood what was taught in class. Okay, so we're going to cover the following topics under each of these courses. On Excel, we will have the functions, named range, referencing, text to column, data validation, and this. Okay, so on day 2, we'll look at the logical functions, sortings, custom sortings, filtering, advanced filtering, statistical functions, and day 3, we'll look at the data cleaning, lookups, index and match, and modeling. And on day 4, we'll talk about the pivot chart, pivot table, dashboard, and slicers. So that's what we are going to learn on Excel. Then we move to Power BI. On Power BI, we'll look at Power Query for the first day, and the second day we'll look at visualizations and perhaps modeling, and the third day will be the formatting, formatting, filtering, and some other functions in Power BI. So then we move to SQL Server. We're going to learn the following from the overview up to aggregations, up to joins, some window functions, transformations, and others. And Python, we look at introductions to Python, and then look at some basics dictionary like NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and pandas. So, and finally, we look at Tableau. All these tools are used for visualization purpose, except for SQL. Please kindly remain muted, please. So all these tools are used for visualization purpose, except for SQL, which is used to query database, because the data we are going to use is likely to be, if it's going to be an organizational data, it's going to be in a database. Unlike during the practice session, you'll be given CSV file, Excel file, PDF to work with. But in the real life, most of the time, some of your data are likely to be from the data from company's database. So that's the reason why we had SQL to our learning, so that you extract the data, because nobody will extract your data for you. You will be the one to go and extract the data and use data for your analysis and the visualization. So now, for those of us who are yet to make payment, or we are still new, the whole course will cost you 60,000 naira for the period of 10 weeks. So you see that this is one of the most the cheapest live class you see that will have these wide range of courses. So if you have the means of joining, I would advise don't lose the opportunity, and don't wait until the next cohort. If you have the opportunity to do now, don't wait, because opportunity will not wait for you also. If opportunity comes your way and you've not prepared for the opportunity, it's going to be one is going to be like blaming himself for some other things. So without wasting time, we are jumping straight into today's session, which is Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to start introduction to Excel. Um, my name is Akim Mustafa. For those who if we've not met before, Akim Mustafa is my name. I'm the lead consultant for Browser Multi Concept. I'm the lead trainer for Browser Multi Concept. From our business is into business support, training, accounting, registrations, and the rest. So, thank you very much. So, okay. Any question so far before we move on? Any question? Okay. If there's no question, okay, let's move on. So please, as we are doing the class, let's remain muted. We are starting from the basic. We're going to start the class from the basic of Excel. I am sure some of us have experience in using Excel. Some are beginners, some are intermediate. So we'll try as much as possible to balance the equation, so that whoever is a beginner will not feel cheated, and he or she will not be dragging us back again for something that we omitted. Okay, so Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet software from Microsoft. The spreadsheet software from Microsoft, which has been in the use for years. And when you talk about data analysis or data generally, Excel comes to the fore, because most of the time you have to resort back to Excel to do one or two cleaning or one or two analysis or whatsoever with Microsoft Excel. So if you are starting your career as a data analyst, I would advise you understand the basics of Excel very well. Understanding the Excel will give you opportunity to understand whatever you are learning from the other software. Excel remains number one tool that you must learn. Or in the alternative is Google Sheet also. You can also learn Google Sheet except for the two differences between there. Both spreadsheets work almost the same way. Okay, now let's start from the introduction to Excel. I'm going to start with the interface of Excel. If you look at the sheet, this is called Excel worksheet. This is a blank sheet for Microsoft Excel. And you see at the top here, you can see some bars here. So if I click on this bar, this tab, you see the ribbon that comes under it. Under this home bar, home tab, you see the clipboard, font, alignment, numbers, this and that. So the same thing is applicable to every other tab that you see at the top of your workbook or worksheet or workbook. Now, the main difference between the worksheet and workbook is, like just exercise book, we have sheets. You can have like 20, 40 sheets. The sheet makes a book. Sometimes a book can be a sheet, and sometimes 100 sheet can also be a book. So if you look at this, in this our case now, you can see that I have multiple sheet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 8 sheets. You see different sheets here. So all this together makes a workbook. So while you have different name for the sheets, we have the name of the book to be week 1, Jan 2024, Excel. So typing in Excel, you type inside all these cells. All these cells are available for you to put information, to type anything you want to type. And whatever you are typing, will show in your formula bar. This is called formula bar. We have the formula bar here, and we have the name box on the left. So you're going to get there. So now, good. So now on the basic function of Excel, basically most of us started our learning with mathematical functions, and up to today, one of the best tools to do your mathematical function remain Excel. Quickly do one or two things with Excel, and you get it off your neck. So the basic functions that we usually use include addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and raised to power. We know. Okay, let's assume we have 1 here and we have 2. We want to add the two together. What do? Just type equals to, sorry, you select the cell where you want your solution to be. Let's say I'm clicking on the cell E4. So the the plus sign, and you select the first cell plus the second cell where you have this. We have 3. Same thing applicable to minuses, equals to this. I selected the second cell and then press minus key on my keyboard. That is after 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 7, 9, 8. Sorry, 8, 9, 0. You see minus sign next to it. So click this. So you will see that each time you click on this, 2 cells here are pointed to. You can see one in red, one in blue, simply because we click on A5 minus A4. Then we have multiplication. We do the same thing. Have this multiply. You see, you press shift and 8. Shift and the number 8 on your keyboard. So you're going to see okay, sorry for that. Okay, so on your keyboard, you see 8. Press shift 8, give you asterisk, and then you click on the next one. That is A4 multiplied by A5. Click enter. You have 2 times 1. Same thing goes to division. You have division to be 2, or let me pick 1 divided by, you see divided very close to m. After m you see less than, greater than, question mark, and that is where you have your divided. Just click on it and select the next cell, enter. You hit enter, and finally we talk about the raised to power. Okay, we are raising to typing 2. Raised to power, you click on shift and the 6. Press shift and 6 together. That will give you raised to power sign. Okay, let's say the A2 raised to power of 3, and click enter. So that is how to use all these basic functions. Now, but when you are working with a large data set, it's going to take a lot of time for you. Let's say you have like 100 rows. or 100 cells, you cannot be doing equals to this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this for 1,000 rows. So to solve the problem, Excel has come with some basic functions that will help your formulas. Basic functions that will help you while you are writing formulas. These functions can be found under the formula tab. When I click on formula tab, you see we have to sum this and that. So under the financials, you see a lot of formulas here that can be used for your financial analysis or financial solutions. So we have under logic function, you can see a lot of functions here, and under the text function, you see some functions here also. Then you see, you go to date functions, you have date and time functions. Various functions are here, lookup references, math and trigonometry, and we have more functions. Here you have statistical functions, engineering function, cube, information compatibility, and web. All these are functions that you can use in the Microsoft Excel. Now, so when you apply a function, it becomes a formula. Please, a minute, please. Let me change the power source, please. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so now one of such function is called sum. Whether you have 100 rows or 1,000 rows or 1,000,000 rows, you use your sum function to sum all the cells together at the same time. How do we use sum cell? Type equals to SUM, which is sum. Then open the bracket, select the range of cell you want to use, whether it's 100 rows or 5 rows. In this case, we have just 4 rows. Close the bracket and hit enter. Again, start with equals to sum. Open the bracket, select the range, and close the bracket. Hit enter. So it's as simple as that. Then same thing goes to average. Average is also called mean. You want to know the average sales, average purchases, average time spent, average anything you want to use. Whatever average you want to find, just type equals to average. One of the widely used function also in Excel. Open the bracket, select the range. You can click on the first one, hold shift and press down arrow key to get to the last one, then close the bracket, hit enter. So you can see now we have the average sales, the average price to be what? 42.5. Then again, average, again, equals to, always remember to type equals to before any formula you want to type in Excel. Average of this, select the range, close the bracket, hit enter. So those are the basic functions that we have in, or we are starting our class with in the Microsoft Excel class. Any question at this point before we move on to the next sheet? Any question on the basic function sum, average, Excel interface, and the rest? Okay. Okay, there's no question. So let's move to other basic functions. We also have some other basic functions that are useful when it comes to analysis. One of such function is mean function. For example, in a wide range of a number, somebody want to know what is the least score, or the least price. Whatever least, the minimum number or the minimum amount or the minimum scores. What do you use to find that? Just use your minimum function equals to mean. Open the bracket and select all those range. Select all the range like we did earlier. Close the bracket and hit enter. So you can see from this range, the minimum number here is this. Is that okay? So also we have max function. Max function equals to max. Open the bracket. You can press tab on your keyboard. When you press tab, it will open the bracket for you. So close the bracket, select the range, close the bracket and hit enter. So here, this one will give us what? The maximum number in the range of cell. So if you have 50,000 rows, 20,000 rows, and you want to know the highest number, so you don't need to scout through and be going using your whatsoever to be scrolling up and down. With your formula, you will quickly get the root of that. Then we have absolute functions. The absolute function is used when you have a mixture of positive and negative. The absolute functions will remove whatever sign you have at that point and turn everything into positive number. Let's see. We use A, B, S at this point, not just the first three letter A, B, S. Then open the bracket, enter the single cell only. You see, if you look at it, you see number. That is a single. When you see number and bracket, it means you only need a single number for this. Unlike where you have equals to mean or sum or average, you see that you have a list of numbers, which means this means that you can add as many numbers as possible to this. But in this case, you see that we only have ABS. We only have one number, which is this. Close the bracket, enter. Okay, let's copy this formula down. So you see that we've applied one single formula now. So we don't need in Excel, you don't need to keep applying the same formula again, equals to ABS, whatever. What do? You select the cell, come to the extreme right corner here. You will see that the cursor has changed to a thin cross, a black thin cross. So this cross, just drag it down. Drag it down, all the formula will just started updating themselves. Here we have B30, absolute B30, which is the cell B30. When you come down, it becomes what? B31. Next one, we have B32. And next one, we have B33. So that is a simple way to do your copy down when you're working with Excel. And we have int function. Int function will round a number down. Well, look at this word here, down to the nearest integer. So, okay, let's look at this. Equals to what? Equals to int. For the bracket, select this. For the bracket, enter. Because it's round down, we have what? 1, 2, 10, minus 2. Because minus 2 is lesser than what? Than 2 in this case. Okay. Then let's move to the next one here. We move to count functions. So these are another useful functions that we will always need while working with Excel or data analysis. You want to count how many of these we have. How many? Any question that comes to your mind that require numbers of product you have, numbers of clients you have, numbers of staff you have, numbers of whatsoever that you want to get. You're going to use count function. So here we're going to look at count and count A. We have count. Count will count numbers. When you want to count numbers in a range of cells, we use count function. While we use count A to count all non-empty cells, which means that when you apply count, count will not count something like text. All the text will not be counted by count, but count A will count text, number, errors, and the rest. Okay. Sorry, let me quickly add an error message here. I'm going to add an error message here. Let's say this as capital N drop A. Okay, good. Now with this, let's apply the two functions. Equals to count. Open the bracket. Select this range from bread to NA. Close the bracket. Hit enter. You see, we have 5. Count only give us what? 5. Can somebody tell us why we got 5 here? You can unmute and talk. Why do we get 5? When we count,
you have just 5 numbers.
We only have 5 cells. The
numbers are 5.
Exactly. We only have 5 cells that has numbers only. Thank you very much, sir. Then we have the next one. Let's use count A and see what we get again. Count A, open the bracket, select the range, close the bracket, and hit enter. Here we have 10. Why? Because we have 4 text, 5 numbers, and 1 error. The only omitted one is what? Is the blank cell. So wherever you are counting, when you want to count something that has a mixture of text and numbers, you're going to use count A to give you that number. Kindly note that, please. Good. Okay. So we also have count blank. We want to count a blank cell in a range. We use count blank. Count blank. Count blank. Sometimes you want to know if there are missing values. You want to see if some cells are missing some things in your data. You know, when you have a large, all this thing we are doing is just a small data. You may have like 50,000 rows, and you want to know how many of the cells are having the empty whatsoever, or something is missing there. Just use a count blank. Count blank. The bracket. Then select the range as usual, close the bracket, and hit enter. 1. We only have 1 blank cell in this case. 1 blank cell. So that is how to use some of these other basic functions in Microsoft Excel. So I think those are the basic things that I think average Excel user should know while starting Excel learning. Before we now move to the main business of the day, where we are starting to add some other things that are more than just the basic functions. Okay, good. So any question on that? On the basic functions and the other basic functions before we now move into named range. Okay, let's assume there's no question for now. I can't see any. If you have any question, just use the raise hand button anytime. I will look at it and I will ask your question. Please, let's remain muted, please. If you want to talk, please raise up your hand. We'll allow you to talk. Let's remain muted, please, everyone. Thank you very much for your understanding. Okay, good. Now, so we are talking about named range. From the name, you see that we have the name is named range. Named range. Why do we need to name our range? Why? In Excel, you can link multiple sheets, multiple page in Microsoft Excel. For example, let's say from this sheet, I'm on the name range sheet now. I need an information from the other basic function here. I need the information from here. From Excel, I can quickly do type equals to, then select the sheet where we have the information, select the number that I need, and let's say I want to multiply it by 5. See now, I've selected cell B4 in the other basic sheet, multiply by 5. We have it what? 500. So the same thing applicable to any of the sheets. I can just click on equal this, type my formula, sum, open the bracket, go back to where I have this, select my range from the basic sheet now, close the bracket and hit enter. We have 170. Now, but when it comes to named range, you don't need, once you name your range, you don't need to move from one sheet to the other. From wherever you are, you can start, you can write your formula from A to Z without looking at any other point, any other sheet. Okay, how do we go about that? Let me quickly look at, let's start like this. I'm selecting a cell here. The name of this cell, can somebody tell me the name of this cell? The cell I'm clicking on now. Can somebody tell me the name of the cell? Christadem. Can you tell me the name of this cell?
J4.
Cell J4. Okay, thank you. Christadem. How do we get J4? I can see somebody here. Christadem. If you are Christadem, can you tell us how we get J4? Okay. Okay, I can't find him again. Okay, when you look at this box under the file tab, the next box here is called name box. So when anytime you click on any cell, the name of the cell will show here. Click on any cell, you see the name is changing. So if you want to name any cell, the first approach or the simplest approach is just to click on the name box and change the name. See, the moment I click on it, it's highlighted in blue. Click on backspace. Let's name this cell. Okay, let's call it Akim. Okay, the name of the cell is what? Akim. I'm clicking enter now. So each time I click on J8 now, instead of showing J8, it's going to show what? Akim. Can you try that, everyone? Click on the cell, select the name range, and name the cell with whatever name you like. Give it a name, any name for now, and click on the cell again. You're going to see the name. A minute to do that. I'm going to give you 1 minute to just do that. Click on the cell, select the name, the cell, the name box, and then give it a name, any name of your choice. That is cell. In my case, I'm using cell J8 in my case now. 1 minute for that. Okay, good. Now, I'm now on cell J11. I'm going to type equals to Akim now. See what happened? The name has been saved, and I can call Akim from wherever I want to call Akim. I click on Akim now. It has highlighted this cell for me. So let me put like 100 inside Akim box. So each time you click on, you call the Akim, it's going to bring the 100 here. Each time you call Akim, equals to Akim, multiplied by whatever, Akim, maybe it's Akim salary or Akim whatsoever, multiply by 2 equals what? Enter. Yeah. That is how to create a name from using the name box for wherever. Okay, let's look at the basic numbers here. Here we have, I'm going to name this range now. The first range here, I'm going to name it fruits. The range from apple to lemon. I'm going to click on this 4, and I want to name it fruit now. I click on the 4. You can see that I have the 4th cell here only. However, all the 4 cells have been highlighted. Select this, press your backspace, and let's name it fruits now. Fruits or fruits. Enter. Now, let's go back to our named range sheet. Here, I want to sum the fruits together. Equals to sum, open the bracket, type fruits. So instead of you going front and back to look for the fruit, just type equals to fruit. You see the name here, close the bracket and hit enter. Now we have the name, we have the total what to be 170, which is exactly the number we got while we sum everything together. You can also do the same thing with average or count or anything you want to do with it. So that is a simple way of using the named range. One of the advantage of named range is this. If somebody type this formula equals to sum, open the bracket, go to basic, add this number, and close it. Let's compare the two formulas. Click on this, and in front of this equals to, let's put space bar. And in front of this, I want to put another space bar again in front of the other one. So we have the two. Oh, sorry, because it's named already. Okay, let me click on the under one without name. Equals to sum from the bracket. Select this. Let me select this now, this time around, and close the bracket. Now, I want to put a space in front of my equals to now. So, okay, now as either as a boss or as somebody want to use this function, the moment you see this, you already know that this is the summation of all the fruits. Without wasting time, you know that you are adding the fruit price or the fruit whatsoever together. But somebody who was presented this, you need to ask some questions. Go back to basic. Find column E, I've said E to 31, before you can know what this formula is all about. So named range will help you save time and will remind you each time you come to the formula, you remember what this 170 is standing for. Good. Now, the other way by which you can also create named range. You don't want to use the name box, no problem. Go to your formula tab. You see name manager here. You see define name, and we have create from selections. These three methods, from these three, you can create name. From name manager, you can remove name, you can delete name, and you can do whatever you want to do. For example, now we have demand, fixed cost, and the rest. I'm going to click on the demand now. Click on fixed cost, click on first fruit. Okay, click on this, and this. Let's click on everything and click on delete now. I'm going to delete this now. So we only have Akim as a name here. Close the bracket. So now we have only Akim as a name that is named on this workbook. So name manager, you can edit a name. Okay, the name is Akim here. I want to edit this name this time around. I don't want to delete. I click on edit. Now I can come here and name, change the small letter to car lock. Okay. Any question on that? Is it clear? If you are getting it, type yes in the chat box. Yes. If it's clear to you, type yes in the chat box. Okay, yes. If you are getting it, you are following us, you are getting it, type yes in the chat box. Chioma, you have a question? Ask your question. Why people are typing yes? And if you are not getting it, type no. If you're not getting it, type no in the chat box. Chioma, you have a question?
Sir,
Go ahead.
Yes. This name range, I did not understand it at all. I'm trying to follow up with the Excel spreadsheet I opened here, and I wasn't following this name range thing.
Okay. Each time I say you should practice, you will practice. When I say look up, you look up. Okay, no problem. I will take you through that again so that other people can also take advantage. Okay, university librarian
All right.
also do not
Thank you.
understand. Good. Okay. When you talk about named range, we want to create a name for a particular cell so that when you need that name, from wherever you have, you can just call the name without wasting or without having the need to go back to that sheet again. You get that now? That is just the basic need for that. Now, in that case, now I'm going to click on I click on the cell J1 to 3. I click on cell J1 to 3 now, and look at the top left here. Click on this box, name box, and let's call this name um okay, stores. Let's say we call it stores. Yeah, I just named the 3 cell stores now. Let's say in first store we have 120. In second one we have 340, and the third one we have 100. Now let me come to this cell and type equals to store first. This is what we have. It's going to show you this store. When you click on it, it's going to highlight the 3 cells that you have. Can you try that first? Let me give you 1 minute again for doing that. Everyone, select the range of the cell, click on the name box, and name it stores. Make sure you type it and click enter. When you select the range, come to this place and change the J1 to stores. Once you are done, type done. Once you are done, type done. Especially those of us who do not understand, like Miriam, Liberian, Choma, you're not getting it. Once you are done with that, type done in the chat box. Done, great. Go again, type done in the chat box. You select a range and then just come to this place and they give it a name. That's all. Done. Okay, good. Okay, now to use the formula now, you can just use any formula. Let's find the average. Average equals to average. I open the bracket and I just type stores now. Without going to click on the cell, you can see that now I can close the bracket and hit enter. The average stores price or the store is what? 186,667. So the other way by which you can create, I think that is okay now. Chioma, can you unmute? Is it clear now? Chioma, can you unmute and talk?
Go on,
If
sir.
it's clear.
Go on,
Okay,
sir.
good.
It's
Okay,
okay.
good.
Go on, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the other method by which you can create a name is by using the data, the formula tab. Here we have define name. Let's quickly look at another name, another range here, and define some names from it. I will click on this. Okay, let me use this. Okay, I'm going to click on this. What cell do I use? Okay, let me go back to basic sheet. I will click on this range now. This range, then go to my formula tab and click on define name. Define name. I want to define this name. I'm going to give the name new fruit. New fruit. Note, when you are naming something in Excel, you don't put space in your name. New fruit. You see there is underline, or you write it as one word. the benefit of using the define name function is that you can select the scope of this name. This name that we are creating, where do you want to use it? Do you want to use it in all the workbook or in a specific sheet? Unlike when we just create name from here, you can use it in workbook. But when you use define name, you can define where exactly you want to use the name, so that when you call the name in other places, it will not interfere with any name you give to any other object in other places. Okay, but let's just make it a workbook and click OK. So we have our new fruit to be here. Let's go back to our named range now and let's sum the new fruit. Sum, open the bracket, new fruit. Close the bracket and hit enter. So you see that the same thing we got when we use the name box, we also got it when we use the what? The name, when you use define name. The third approach is when you have a long list, and for creating them one by one might take a lot of time. You can also create from selection. Let's see how that works. You have the create from selection option here. So let me select this. I'm going to select this now. Everyone, please look at what we are doing now. Look at me now. Stop whatever you are doing. I select this range together with text and the numbers together. Click on Formula tab, and I click on Create from Selection. Create from Selection. Look at my names. The name I want to call this one price, this is one demand, this one unit cost, and this one fixed cost. So I want to assign this name to this. It's asking me, where can we find the names I want to assign? Okay, the name is on the left columns. Left columns. Okay, let's click OK. So now we already have all the names. Let's go back to Formula tab. Click on Name Manager. You see all the names here: demand, fixed cost, price, and unit cost. It's as simple as that. We've created 4 names with a single click. Can you try that, everyone? If you have it in your workbook, go back and first delete what you have in your workbook. Name Manager, you select demand, fixed cost, and click on delete first. Then you now create your own name. I'm going to give you like 1.5 minutes for that, to practice that. Select the range, click on Formula tab, create from selection, and hit OK. Make sure you check the name to be from the left column and hit OK. Good. Yeah, 1.5 minutes for that. Okay. Olaolu, ask a question while people are practicing. You can't identify the exact item, okay? Select this range. Then click on the Formula tab. You see the Create from Selection here. This is it. Under the Define Name, you see Name Manager, Define Name, and you see Create from Selection. That is it. Olaolu, you have a question? Go ahead. Ijebo, is that okay now? Are you okay now? That Olaolu Anna, ask a question. You can unmute. You are muted. Unmute and talk. Okay, no problem.
It is very okay now. I understood.
Okay, good. Now let's use the formula we have. Let's use the name we've created now. We want to get a profit. We can just say okay. Okay, you don't know how to unmute. When you click on your name, when in front of your name, you on your server, on your, you see this sign here. When it has cross in it and it's the mic is not having a cross, that means you are
Okay.
unmuted.
Okay, I've
Yeah,
unmuted
that is it.
myself. Yeah, I was asking
Okay.
a question. So
Okay, what's the question?
the price, all those things is not
Okay,
price demand is not on my work. Is there workbook?
it's there. Look at
So
the
I didn't
name
see.
sheet. Have you seen the? Have you gone to the named range worksheet? The
Yeah.
sheet where we have for name. Scroll down. Scroll down. Maybe you are up on top here. Just go down like this. Use your arrow
Yeah.
down. Go down. Go down. Go
Okay.
down.
So what do you ask
Down.
us to do, please? I'm there.
Okay. Select the range. Right.
Okay.
Click on Formula tab. Click on Create from Selection, and
I'm
click
coming,
OK.
please.
Click OK. Your name will be created. All the names will be created for you. Okay. So while you are creating that, we're still going to create another one. Don't worry. Let's follow the class. Olaolu, you can
Okay.
mute and follow the class now. Yeah. So let's quickly apply that. Equals to sum. Oh, sorry, not something around. I want to create this formula. Demand. Now see that I now have it here. Demand multiply by, open the bracket, price. Have the price minus unit cost. I have it here. Close the bracket, minus fixed cost, and then click enter. You see that the names, I was able to use the name to create my formula without having to click on any cell. Equals to this times this times this times this and that. That's how to create from selection. Let's do another one. Olaolu, you can look up now. Look at what I'm going to do now. I'm going to click, I'm going to let me add something to this one, this name, prices, because we already have one price up here. So we can't create the same name for two cells. We already have price there. So let's add S to this, prices. Now let's select this value. I'm going to select this range. Can you follow me now, Olaolu? And if you are not getting it before, follow this process now. I'm going to slow down here. Select, first thing, add S to this. Select this range first. Then go to Formula tab. Click on Create from Selection. Create from Selection. Then select where your name, the name of this column is here. Name of these columns is prices. So the name is on the top row. So make sure you check the box top row here so that Excel will know where to pick the name from. So click OK. So you have shares and prices as a name now. Just create two names with a single click. Now let's make use of the two. I want to know the value of Nestle stock or Nestle shares now. I can just say equals to shares. Can you see the shares now? It's highlighted the entire shares. Multiply by prices. Prices is there. Enter. So we're able to create the formula from the name we just created. Copy this down. You see that we now have all multiplications done together. Again, what do we do? After the first formula, you just drag it down. Select the first one. You don't need to create every time, and drag it down like this. That is it. We just learn how to use a named range. If it's clear to you, kindly comment in the chat box. Use an emoji to show that you are getting it in the chat box. Use an emoji this time around. Not yes, not no. Use any emoji of your choice to show that you are getting it before we move to the next sheet. You're following us, you're getting it. Use any emoji of your choice. Great. Adekunle Agodirin. Once again, you don't get it, raise up your hand and ask question now before we move to the next sheet called references. Great. SAIO. Okay. So we are moving to a very important knowledge in Excel. Krista, them. Ask your question. Okay, Ibrahim Ohe. Krista, them. Ask a question. Krista, them. You have a question? Ask your question now before we move to the next one. Okay, Olaolu, ask your question before we move.
So I've gotten that other name range. I was trying to do it. So I got to the top row. So
Okay.
well, after the top row, what do you ask us
OK.
to do? I should click OK.
Okay, yeah. The top row is checked. There's a mark inside the top row, right? Is there a mark there?
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I selected from company, from all the I selected everything. Am I to select just share and prices?
If you like, if you share from, if you collect from, if you do from here, no problem. It will still work for you.
I should
when you
click
click on
enter.
formula tab,
Mm-hmm.
click on create from selection, you
Mm-hmm.
make sure that the top row is checked because the name you want to give it is at the top row. Am I correct? We want to call it company, shares, and prices. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So make sure the top row there's a checkbox. There should be a mark inside that top row. Then click OK. That is it. That's how to create name.
Thereafter, what means that? Oh.
Okay, just use formula here equals to share times price. You will see that it's going to work for you. Instead of clicking on the cell, just type equals to shares times prices.
So sorry, can we get recorded this
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
Thank you.
So you can repractice again. Okay, so we are moving to a very important knowledge. We are moving to a very important. This is the selection formula. You see it under the define name. You see create from selection here. Okay, please, if you don't know anything in Excel, you must know this. To me, as far as I'm concerned, the most important knowledge in Excel remains this, because it can save you from it can save your day from wasting the day on formulas. The knowledge of references will save your day, a whole day for you. Okay, let's quickly look at references. What do we call reference? Reference, you are referring to something. You are making reference to something. If you remember when we started the basic functions and other basic functions, when you type equals to a cell, you can see that you are not seeing 40 here. Instead, what do we have here? B21, not 40, plus this. This is not 60, but what? B20. We just refer to the two cells. We make reference to this cell and these cells only. That is what we just did. So if tomorrow you change this one to 100, the figure will change because Excel is not concerned with the figure here. Rather, Excel is concerned with what? With the cell. So whatever is inside that cell, Excel is going to make use of it to arrive at the solution. Is that okay? Is that clear, please? Reference. When you talk about reference, when you click a cell equals to something, you see that a reference has been created for you. Reference has been created for you. That's how reference works. Okay, let me quickly look at something. Let's scroll down. Let's scroll down. Let's do something here. Let's look at something now. Here, I'm going to create equals to. I want to multiply this by 1. This multiply by, okay, no, okay, let me do this, okay. Okay, no problem. Equals to this multiply by this. Okay, hit enter. We have it to be 1. If I drag this thing down, let's see what we get. Can you see the pyramid we are getting? 1 multiplied by 1. But when we get down, that becomes this. Why? Because when you click on this, it multiplies A56 by B55. When I come here, it multiplies this by this. Because there's a cell, I just pick a cell in front and the cell above. So when I come to the next one, it picks the front and the next and the top again. Again, the top and the side again. So that is how Excel will move your formulas. When you copy a formula down, you remember when we copy formula from here downward, the first one was 10 by 15. The second one was what? 15 by 7. So Excel will use its own knowledge or intelligence to copy down. As you are moving step downward, it will be adding one cell to your formulas. So in that case, we call this one relative reference. We call it what? Relative reference. Let's see how that works also. Again, going back to my basic functions, I want to add 2 to this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want to do equals to this times this. Enter. Let's say this is quantity. Quantity. I want to know the total value now. I multiply this by this. When I copy this down, you see that the cell will change. This is the default way Excel will work when you copy your formula. That's the default way Excel will work when you copy your what? Your formula downward or sideward or upward or wherever. This is called relative reference. It is called what? Relative references. That is it. The formula that we copy that will move from one place to the other is called what? Relative reference. Now, why do we now need to understand what is called absolute reference or what is called mixed references? Now, imagine you have a rate, a fixed rate somewhere, and you want to multiply the rate with maybe the quantity of material sold to all your customers. Here we have the quantity here. We want to know the value, the amount we are expecting from each of them, of the amount payable from each of these customers. Can somebody tell me what formula I'm going to use to get the amount of value payable in January by Alex and Co? Can somebody put me through? I've just typed my equals to. What do? I want somebody to unmute and talk to me.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. What do?
Just go up and click. Put your cushion on 200.
200.
And click enter. Click enter.
I want to multiply with 100. What do we do?
Okay. Jen, now use this multiplication sign.
Okay.
Then now write 100 there.
Write 100. Okay.
And now enter.
Enter. Good. This is a simple way of creating this formula. But since you can see that we have the rate here, so instead of typing the rate, instead of typing 100, what do? You just select this cell and hit enter. You're going to get the same thing. This time around now, I've multiplied rate with what? With the quantity sold now. We can see the amount we're expecting from Alex in January. Now, if I copy this formula down, that will be a problem. Because by default, Excel comes with a relative reference. So the problem now is, look at this formula. It has shifted from 100 to what? To B7. Check this. It has shifted to what? To B8. Check this. It has shifted to B9. Meanwhile, we want to maintain B6. We want to maintain what? B6 only. We don't want to move from that cell. So, okay, what do we now do to solve this problem? That's what is called absolute reference. Look at me, please, everyone. Equals to, type equals to. Now, select 100. Please, everybody remain muted, please. Mute yourself. Click on 100, that is B6, and press F4 on your keyboard. F4 on your keyboard. You see F4 on your keyboard? Okay. On your keyboard. Press F4 on your keyboard. This is F4 on screen. You see F4 here. Click F4. You see F4. Can you see F4 on your keyboard? Press F4. When you click on F4, you will see $sign in front of B and 6. It now becomes $B, $6, not B6 again. It has become $B, $6. To get this, type yes in the chat box. If you get it, type yes in the chat box. Equals to, click on this cell and press F4 on your keyboard. If you get $B, $6, type yes. Yes, okay. If you don't get it, type no. If you don't get it, type no. Okay, it's like everyone is getting it. Okay, good. If you don't get it, no problem. Look at my screen, please. If you don't get it, or maybe tomorrow you change your laptop. If you don't get it, you press Fn before you press F4. If you are not getting F4, if F4 is not working in your system, that means you are going to press Fn before you press what? F4 on your keyboard. Please note that. But I think in the class now everybody is getting it. If you don't get it, press F4 and Fn and F4 together. You're going to see dollar in front of your B and in front of 6. Let's see what happened with this. Let me copy it, right? Copy it down. You see that the number is not moving. The cell is no longer moving to anywhere again because we have placed it on what? Absolute reference. Unlike before, when we were just copying it before, Control R, when you just copy it like equals to, or sorry, when we just copy it before with the simple reference equals to this. What happened before? It's continuing to move to everywhere. It's continuing to move everywhere. Sorry. Started moving to everywhere. Can you see? Started moving to everywhere. But now that we have put it on absolute reference, it's no longer shifting from that 100 again. That is called absolute reference. It means that we have fixed the column and the row. The dollar sign in front of it, this dollar sign that you see, mean that we have fixed the column and we have fixed the row. The column B is fixed and the row C is also fixed. Enter now. Okay, let's multiply this now. Let's multiply this by the first one here, first cell 200. And now let's copy the formula to the right and then copy this down. So let's expand this. Let's expand them. Bam. So you see that with a single formula now, we're able to fill all the spaces. If you want to fill like 1,000 rows, 1 million rows, you're going to use the same approach. Instead of doing it one after the other, use a single formula to kill all the birds. Let me give you 2 minutes to do that, everyone. 2 minutes to execute this. Okay, Amosa.
I have a
Amosa.
question.
Amosa. I think Amosa has a question before Lalu.
I have a
Please,
question.
Amosa. Who are you? What's your name?
Anna.
And just raise up your hand. I know, I can see you. Amosa. There's Amosa raising his hand before. Abakar, are you okay now? You don't have a question? Okay. Olaolu Anna, go ahead.
Yeah. I understand what you were saying, but my challenge is how I understand what you were saying, but my challenge is how can I, because the execs, how can I be watching what you are explaining and bringing my Excel sheets to my system and doing it at the same time? Because I have to hide what you are saying.
When you are looking at me, look at what I'm doing in class. When I say practice, then go and practice. You can't do the two together at the same time. If you are using two devices or you are watching, you are following, you might miss some things. Just watch. You still have a lot of time to practice. Watch what we are doing. When I give you time to practice, do it that time. Yeah. Don't split your screen. Don't minimize what I'm saying, because that's that's why you are here. You want to learn what we are doing. Is that okay now? Always look at my screen. Always, please. Always look at my screen, because you will miss important point. You can practice later. It doesn't matter. Okay. Amosa, go back. You can continue with your question now. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Sir, please, I'm sir.
Say what?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your
I
question.
just want
I
to
can hear
answer
you.
the first question you asked. No, you've answered. You've done it. When you are asking what I said, I
Okay.
want to answer the question you asked the other time.
Okay. Thank you very much. I get you now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I get it now. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so once again, let me explain the concept of absolute reference. Absolute reference. When you have a cell somewhere that you want to use to multiply your data, and you know that selecting the cell multiply by this, get the first one, but to get the other ones, will you do the same thing again and again and again? It's going to waste a whole lot of time for you. Then how do we solve the problem? That is where the knowledge of absolute reference come to play. Now, how do we create absolute reference? Type equals to this sign, this cell you have here, you put dollar in front of what? In front of B, and you put dollar sign in front of 6. That means you are fixing B. You want to make B fixed, this column. That is, you don't want this thing to leave this column, and you don't want it to leave the row. You want to maintain the column and the row, which means that you are keying this number into this corner. It will not change from this cell. Now, wherever you drag this into, is not going to leave that cell for you. And you see, everything is going to be 100. Anywhere you like, drag it to anywhere, it's going to remain at that point. That is it. That is how it works. Can you see now that it's not changing that point again? Because we have added, we have make it absolute. We make it what? Absolute. Unlike normal one, if you just click like this and you drag it, it will leave the cell and keep jumping up and down. Can you see? From 100 to 0 to January to February, it keeps jumping down. But when you put dollar sign in front of it, put dollar in front of B, and put dollar in front of 6, remain what? Absolute. The cell will remain what? Absolute. And the easiest way by which you can add that is by using F4. If you don't want to type it, but if F4 is not working, you can type it. It will still work for you. If you type it, it will work. If you use F4 functions, it will what? It will also work for you. F4. That is it. Now I want to multiply this now by all the cell here. Let's start from the first one. Click enter. Since we have this to be absolute, this one is the relative. This one will move from right to left, from up to down. Okay, let's copy it to the right and see what we have. To the right, you see that it's moving. This G9 is moving. It was G8 before. Here we have G8. Here we have G7. Abi E what? E8. So Abi whatever. What do we have here? E8 or E9. Yeah, we have E9 here. Here we have F9. Here we have D9. Here we have C9. That is moving, right? But the cell that will apply this thing on remain 100. So let me copy everything down. I selected all this and I drag it down again up to April. So you can see that now we've been able to multiply all the cell with just that cell only. Is it clear now? Now, let's look at another example. Here we have different price for different customer. Now we we have different prices for different customer. how do we multiply this? Are we going to do it one by one? We do absolute for this, absolute for this, absolute for this, absolute for this, and absolute for this. It means we are going to use 5, we are going to create 5 formulas with our knowledge of absolute reference. But why not try another approach? We're going to try another approach now. We're going to call it a kind of mixed reference now. Mixed reference. We want to mix some things together and see what's going to happen here. Now, equals to this times this. Right? Let's copy this to the right. Can somebody tell us, is this question, this solution, is it correct? We copy, with this, we have not added anything to it now. When you copy to the right, is it correct or wrong? This solution we have here for January.
I think it's still right.
You think it's still right?
Except if it is not absolute.
Okay, it's not absolute. Okay, let's copy it down. Is it correct again? No. I can see. You can see error now. Can you tell us what's the problem here? I want you to tell us what the problem is. Look at this. Let me click on one of them. We have 2 cells multiplied together, Alex and Co, and 500. One is correct, one is wrong. Which one is correct? Which one is wrong? C25 or C27?
C25 is wrong.
C25 is wrong. 27 is correct. Okay. Somebody has to tell me this. What is wrong here?
That's D20. D26 is wrong.
26 is wrong. Okay.
Yes.
What I'm driving hard in this is that D is not wrong, or 26 is wrong. It means that in this case, unlike the absolute reference, we are only interested in having this 24 fixed. In this case, what we need is what? Is 24, because when we copy our formula across this row, it didn't give us error, which means that 24 must be fixed. Is that clear now? We copy our formula from left to right. There's no error. But when we copy down, it gives us error because it moved from 24 to 25. So we want to maintain 24, but we are not clear about the column. Are you getting me now? We want to maintain row 24 since the name of the cell is equals to C24. So we want to maintain 24, but we want to relax the C. What do? We just put a $sign in front of 24. That's all. Just put $sign in front of 24 only. Or better still, if you want to use your keyboard, press F4 2 times. F4 2 times. We have dollar in front of what? 24. So let's multiply this by, let's now multiply this by 200 now. Click enter. Now, let's drag to the left or to the right and drag down. You can see that it's not leaving that 24 row. Why? Even though it moved from C24 to D24, then to E24, then to F24, and to G24. And up to this place, the 24 remain 24. While the column is relaxed, the row was fixed. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay. Let's use another example. It's clear. Okay, let's use another example again to re-explain. This time around, we're going to use column example. Column. We're going to use column now. This time around. Okay. When you drag to autofill from D3, it comes ash. Then there is an what you have to do is just to expound. If you have ash, look at my screen, please. Just drag like this. It will expound. You will see it. It means that what you have there, you can see like this, like this. Because the space is not enough, or you just select the entire column and drag it like this. Just drag it a bit. It will expand for you. Good. Now, let's look at this row. This time around, we have another question here. We have different prices in each of the months. In January, we have 230, February 200, March 220, and April 200. We want to multiply this amount by all this. Remember, we have this on the column. Here, we have it on the row. The prices are on the row here, while the prices are on the column in this case, which means that let's try and see what happens when you copy it. This multiply by this. Let's drag it down and see what happens. I think we are good. Everything is in order now. But let's try to drag it to the right and see what happens. Can you see we now have error? Let's see what happened here. Can you see we are multiplying this by this? It has left the column that we intended to multiply with. So in that case, what do? We are going to make sure that this column remain fixed. How do we do that? You put $sign in front of the column. Select this and put $sign in front of the column A. That will be now what? $A. That is it. As simple as it is, you have solved all the problem. Just multiply your $sign, your cell by this, and then use the single formula to fill all the boxes. Bam. Can you see that Excel is powerful? So when you know Excel, it saves your time. With a single formula, you can fill 1,000 rows. You can fill 1 million cells with a single formula that you understand very well. So that is how to use the relative reference, absolute reference, and mixed reference. This is called mixed because we put one in absolute, we put one in relative. $A for this does not have this. But in the case of absolute, both of them will have both the column and row will be fixed. We have $this in absolute. But in the mixed reference, either you fix just the column or you fix just the row. That's why we call it mixed reference. I'm mixing two things together, both absolute and relative. Any question?
So, when you try to, expand to get the total answer, and one of your column is giving you value, what can I do?
Value. If it's value,
Yeah.
that means there's an error. If it's value, it means there's an error. Yeah. There's an error somewhere when you have value. It's going to be like hash value, right? So that's an error message. You can delete it and delete the formula and reapply the formula again. Okay, now let's quickly look at this times table. We want to create a multiplication table from this. See what we do. Equals to this multiply by this. But this time around, we want this column. We want to multiply all this row by all these columns, which means that in this case, we are going to make sure that the row is fixed. Put $sign in front of row. You can press your F4 2 times. And here on the column side, we want the column also to remain fixed so that it will not move to this place. So I'm going to press F4 3 times. 3 times there, 2 times there. You can see when you press 2 times, the dollar is in front of row. When you press 3 times, the dollar is in front of what? Column A. Can we see the difference between the two now? So let's quickly copy this to the right. If you can't see anything, you can exit and rejoin. It's on internet. I think other people are saying it, so there's something wrong from your hand. So can you see now that we're able to fill with a single formula now? We have created a multiplication table. 10 by 10 is 100. By doing what? By our mix reference. Here, we maintain row for the first one. That is, we make sure that the row 55 is maintained. And here, we make sure that column A is maintained so that it will not move to column B or column C or column D. So to maintain your row, you press F4 2 times. To maintain your column, you press F4 3 times. So you get the recording where you can repractice and repractice and repractice. It's going to be with you forever. Download it, keep it in your archive, and keep watching it. So I think we are done with referencing. Any question on that before we move to the next topic? Crystal Dem, you can't say anything. Please exit and rejoin. Tabakar, you have the recordings. You have it. For those of us who use Excel, you will see that there are so many things that we don't make use of in Excel, and that can help us to solve so many problems. Okay, good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is text to column. Text to column. Text to column. So let's look at text to column and what do we do with it. Look at this column. We have city, state, and zip code together. Have the sheet is beside reference, after reference. Do you mean sheet or workbook? Do you mean you don't have the worksheet or you don't have the workbook? Please kindly confirm what if you have workbook, then you have the worksheet. If you don't have the workbook, you mean workbook, okay? You can ask from the group. Check from within the group. Okay, you mean the workbook. So you can ask within the group. Somebody can share with you in the WhatsApp group. Get that?
Can you rephrase it again? The last lecture referencing, the last one.
Reference.
Where you.
Okay, this one, right? This one.
Yes, yes.
Okay, no problem. Let's quickly look at it. Okay, I want to multiply this row with this column, right? It means that I want to maintain this row and I want to maintain this column. That is as simple as that. I can say equals to, I select this first cell. Remember, we are maintaining row here. We want to maintain this row. You press your F4 2 times, or manually you can type dollar in front of the row. Row 55. Mr. Geoffrey, is that clear?
I hear you.
I put dollar in front of what? 55. Multiply by this cell. This time around, I want to maintain the what? column A. I can press F4 3 times or manually type dollar in front of column A. That is it. So with this, we have maintained row 55 in the first one, and we have maintained column what? We have fixed column A. So if you copy this to the right or to the left, wherever you copy it to, it's going to maintain them for you. And so let's copy it to the right now. It's going to maintain it. That's how we arrive at that. Is it clear now? Mr. Geoffrey, can you confirm that you get it?
This is fine. This is fine. This is fine.
Very good. So let's move to test column. So test column is used to split your text. When you want to split something, you have a long list, or you have something you want to. When you want to split a column into multiple columns, we use text to column. Look at this column. We have city, we have state, we have zip code in the same cell. Please, let's be muted, everyone. Let's be muted. Okay, I will share the link with you. The link to the group, I think, has been shared before. Let me quickly check it and share with you. Sorry, please, everyone. Okay. Okay, that's the link to join the group. Okay, good. Now we want to split this into city, state, and zip code. Let's look at this very well again. After the city, we have comma. We have city, comma. Then we have these two letters represent state. IL, IN, IL, IN, all this. They represent state. The next 5 letters, the 5 numbers that follows represent zip code. Everything after that is a noise. Just a noise, we don't need them. Now, we want to split this text, these columns. What do we do? Come to city and type equals to, oh, sorry, no equals to this time around. Select the column. Let's select this column. Here, downward. Please look at my screen, everyone. Look at my screen now. Look at my screen. I select the column, then go to my data tab. Under data tab, you see data tool. Under data tools, you see text to column. If it's not showing, just make sure you over your cursor all over what you have here. You will see text to column. Like all this, you can see that all this one are not showing. But when you put cursor on it, you will see the name. You will see the name of what you have there. So click on text to column. You will see this dialog box. Everyone, let's do that now. Select the column, go to data tab, and click on text to column. When you see dialog box, stop and look at my screen again. Everyone, when you are done, type done. When you get to this stage, just type done chat box. Type done. Select the column, go to data tab, click on text to column. That's all. When you get to that point, type done. Type done. Great. Okay, good. Now, look at my screen, everyone, again. Look at my screen now. Next thing we're going to look at now. Look at my screen. Next thing, for the next thing. Next step. On this dialog box, we have 2 options here: delimited and fixed width. Let's start with delimited. You use delimited when you have something common. When you have something that is common to your data. Look at this state. Please, mute, please. Please mute now. Please. Okay. Okay. Thank you for muting yourself, please. Okay. You see that there is comma that separate the state. That comma is a delimiter. This comma that separates the city is called what? A delimiter. Now, I've selected delimited now, and I click next. When I click next, it's going to take me to another page where I will define what delimiter I want to use. I will now check this comma. You can see the moment I put comma here, see what happened? It shows me sample of my data. Am I sure this is what I want? When you are okay, you click next. Can you see the sample of what we have now? You can see the sample here. It's showing us the sample of our data. When I click on what? Comma. When I click on comma, it shows sample of what we are going to get. Okay, if what you have is not showing here, click order. You know, we only have 4 options here: tab, semicolon, comma, and space. If you don't have what you have there, you can click on order and type what you have, comma. You type it in, you click order and you type it in this box. Anything that is used to separate your data. But in this case now, I have a comma here. And let's click on next. Now, if we want to get to the answer now. Look at my screen, please look at my screen now. Don't do anything. On destination, we want our destination to be this cell. Select this cell for destination and click finish. Okay. Can you see that we now have the city inside under the city column? All the city has been what? Splitted into this. Now, let me do it again. Once again. After selecting the column, go to data tab, click on test the column. Now you want to split this column with a delimiter, comma. So click on next and then either you select comma or you type comma here in others. Can you do that now? Now you can do, I will be talking now, you can now be doing it now. Under your delimiter, select comma or you type comma in front of others, either of the two. So let's go by that approach. Select comma box, or you type comma in front of this. Next, you click on next, and then under destination, close destination and type the destination you want to use. In my own case now, I will select the cell under the city. That's cell E3, right? Then click finish. Okay. So we have the city name splitted. If you get it, type done in the chat box. Done. D-O-N-E. If you splitted it, if you have splitted your type D-O-N-E.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
So when I highlighted everything and I click on text to boss, text to column, yeah, it's showing me Microsoft Excel can convert only one column at a time. The range can be many, but no more than one column wide. What's the problem?
That means you selected more than one column. Just select a column where we have the city, zip. Don't join the cells to it.
So what are we going to select? Just city.
Look at just the city, state, and zip. Column B only column B. Only column B should be selected. Is that okay? Only column B. Not C, not B and C. When you select 2 columns, it will be confusing. We are splitting just the column B only. Okay. Now, you can see that Look at it again now. We are moving forward again. Let's look at it. If you don't get the first one, you get it again here. Look at what we have again. Now we have splitted this. We still have all this one together. State, zip code, and the other jargons at the back. We have the jargons at the back. What do we do to this? We are going to split the state code. Is these two letters is the state code. Let's see how we're going to split that. I'm selecting this column now, the remaining columns there under the state. We have everything here under the state that is splitted. I go back to my text column again. This time around, this is my letter. My state are just two columns. So I can use fixed width because there are two letters. I click on fixed width and I click on next. Look at it. It has put a line in front of the two. If I want to hide another one, I can still put another one by clicking on this. When you click on something, it will show you the line. When you click again, when you double click, it will go off. So with fixed width, you can determine where you want to put your line. Can you see the way I'm dragging it? So that is how to use fixed width. This is called fixed width. So you can create as many columns as possible when you are using fixed width in your analysis. And then the next thing I'm going to use now is what? Is okay, let me put another one here so that we can have the two together once. And click finish now. Okay. Now we have the state, we have the zip code, and we have the noise there. So the noise there can be deleted now if you don't need it for anything. So everything you have here can be deleted and then you take it off your data. Now, this data we have here now has been used to create this. Okay, so other way around. Let's say I selected this and I click on data tab again, text to column. I first selected this. Look at this. I selected this and I click finish. Finish. I still have mixture of something here. Now, I want somebody to tell me, look at this data very well. Do we have a delimiter or not? Somebody can unmute and talk to me. In this data, this range, do we have a delimiter or not here?
Yes,
So what? We have. What is that delimiter? What is the delimiter here? Yeah, this delimiter here is this dash, this iPhone. I mean, what do you call it? Is it dash or iPhone? Whatever.
Okay, dash.
Yeah. Go to data tab now. Text to column. Now let's try delimiter now this time around. Click on next. Now we have a dash that we want to use. Click on others and type it here. Type the dash here. Sorry. Type it here. Can you see that Excel has detected where the dash is? It's showing you the sample of how your data is going to look like after the whole thing. Click on next and click on finish. Okay, since we want to maintain the destination, just click OK. Now we have splitted this. Just splitted this. So that's how to use text to column. Mr. Geoffrey, which area is not clear to you?
Where you separated the states.
The state. Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
Turn back to the state.
Okay, no problem. Okay, let's do that. Let's do something like this. Let me go through everything again once so that you can look at it again, everyone. Look at the step again. We have the data I want to split, not the two column together. No, just this column only. Just this column. Don't join the cells to it. Select this column, go to data tab, text the column, then select, since we have something that is common to them, which is comma, we're going to use that called delimited, because there's a delimiter that we're going to use to split them. Click on next. Select your delimiter, which is a comma, or you type delimiter yourself. The moment you select delimiter, Excel will show you the sample of where it think you want to split your data. Can you see now? So you click on next, and the destination where you want your result to be, you select the destination. Then click on click OK. So the first one now has been splitted. Is that clear? Now let's look at the other one. We still have the state and the zip together. The state just have two letters in the state. You can see we have two letters, which means that they are equal. When you have an co-equal something, you can use fixed width. You draw a line between IL and the C2. That line will cut across this line in between them. That's called fixed width. So let me select this up to down and go back to data tab, test the column, and we're going to use fixed width this time around. Click on next. There's a line under this first. Let me click on that line at the end of the five numbers there, five digits. Select the underline, which means that this is a fixed width. The width of the column are the same. 2 letters, 5 letters. Then click on next. We want to maintain the cell where we have the state, and then we jump to the next column. So I'm going to click on finish now. Finish, click OK. So we have the state splitted, we have the zip splitted, and we have the noises here. Delete the noise, and we have your data clean and useful. Let me give you 2 minutes to try, everyone. You can try it now for the next 2 minutes and ask questions. If you have questions, you can be asking questions now while people are practicing it. Once you get it, type yes in the chat box.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
What do you mean by destination? How do we get it? How do we know the destination? The destination.
Where you want your result to be. Where you want your result to be. In this case now, we have created city, state, zip already. So we want our result to be here.
So what will be that destination? So now be E what?
Destination where you want your result to be is destination. Go just click delete what you have in destination and click that cell.
Okay.
Yeah. Under destination, delete what you have there and click that cell. Who else again? Another person with a question? If you have gotten it, you've done your own. You can use thumb up as an emoji. Thumb up. You can thumb up emoji to show that you've gotten it. That is the text.
Excuse me, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Excuse. Hello, go ahead. You are excused.
Yeah, thank you. My question is, when after doing the delimitation, the state is not separated by comma. You know, I can see the city separated, but the state, Illinois, is not separated.
Yes, that is
how
now use fixed width for the state, and the zip code. We use a fixed width.
Fixed width. Okay.
Select the column. Now you select the other column. Now look at my screen. The column you now under the state where you have everything together. Select it and go back and repeat the same process. For this time around, you're going to use fixed width.
Please, could you minimize your Excel?
Mine? I can't remember my
I
Excel now.
can't see your screen because sorry,
It's from your hand.
the Microsoft Teams is blocking the Excel. I can see.
It's from your hand. It's your own Microsoft team, not my own.
Excuse me, sir.
My screen is off. Hello? Go ahead.
Excuse me, sir. So I've in
Yes.
the destination, I've put the cursor in the destination. It's showing $sign B $3.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So what should I do next?
You click finish.
Okay.
Click finish. It shows that
It's
there's a
showing
data.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Click OK. Click OK. It will
I've
split
clicked
that
OK.
for you. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is it
But
splitted? The city?
it's
Splitted now.
Mm-hmm.
The city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the state and the zip are together, right?
Yeah.
So you see now, you have to select that column again now and repeat the same step for the state and zip. But this time around, you will not use the limiter again. You now use fixed width. So because the width are the same, 2 column, 5 column, the fixed are the same. Just put a line there and split them. Any other person with the question? Ibrahim Uhe, done. Who else again? You are done. Type, use an emoji to show that you are done. Choma, I'm understanding, but your workbook is not showing this icon hub. What icon are you talking about? What icon? Choma? You can unmute and talk. I don't understand the icon you are talking about.
Yes, sir. Sir, my spreadsheet, my workbook, rather, is not showing all those icons on data, formula, all those icons that show up on the workbook.
Here,
It's
all
just
this one.
the icons that come up when you launch a workbook from Excel. You know, there are icons like when you say click on column, on data, on those things that come up.
It's not showing on your home.
It's
Why?
just, I don't know.
Are you using Excel or you are using WPS?
No,
What are
no,
you
I'm using
using?
Excel. I always had Excel in my phone. I even had to go and the new one, this one you're using to work. I was asking them on the platform that they sent it to me.
Are you using phone? You are using phone, right?
Yes.
Phone may not give you everything you want.
Everything, exactly.
It's going to be down, I think, in phone. Check down. The phone to be down.
I've checked down.
Okay.
There.
Somebody said you should check down.
Not there. Those columns, most of them are not there. I've checked down.
Maybe later, sir, you can recheck. Let's continue with the class. You can retry later.
My laptop will be coming tomorrow. I will just carry out the exercise on it.
You have the video.
Yes.
The video will be given to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the video that you can repractice it. Good.
Thank you,
okay.
Sir.
Now, I think we have done some things on text to column. Please watch the video again. You'll get it better. So we have the next one we're going to look at is the data validation. Data validation now. Validation. What is data validation? We validate data to ensure that we limit the kind of information that can be entered into a cell. You know, when you have a cell, you can type anything in any cell by default. Anything can be typed, number, jargons, whatever you like, just put anything there. It will be there for you. You can type anything in any cell. You get it now. But what happened when you want to limit what is typed in a cell? For example, this is a date column. Hello, are you with me? This is a date column. You don't want somebody to type name here. You don't want somebody to type number in this column. You don't want somebody to type a wrong state here. And this is going to be a date also. Let's say you have scores, scores. You want the score to be between 0 and 100. So you don't want somebody to type 200 or mistakenly type 170. That is when we use data validation. Is that clear now? We use data validation to limit the kind of data or errors that are made when you are inputting your data. Is it making any sense? The explanation, is it clear? And I give an example of a date column. Somebody might mistakenly type 25, just type 25 and go there. So how do you ensure that the only thing that can be typed here is date? I said that I put the input only a date in 2021 only. Cancel. Now, everyone, please do this for me first. Do this for me now first. Click on data tab. Everyone, do it now. Do it now. Click on data tab. Under data tool, beside text to column, you see data validation. Click on it. Click on it. Let me play this. Okay, select the entire sheet first. Go to data tab. Click on data validation. More than one validation. Okay. Set the continue. And clear all. Click on clear all. And click OK. Any value. Click OK. Click OK. Select the entire sheet again. Select the entire sheet for data validation. Go to data tab. You see data validation here. And click OK. Okay. Are you done?
Hello, sir.
If you are done, type yes. Hello,
Hello, sir.
have you done what I said you do? Yes.
No, control.
Don't press any control.
How do I highlight all?
Okay. Now look at my screen. At the extreme left here, between A and 1.
Okay.
Click on that point. Just click on it. It will highlight the entire sheet for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you use Control A. Control A will also do the same thing. If you press Control A, it will select everything. Now go to data tab now. Select data validation. It will show any value here. When you see any value, click OK. When you see any value there, click OK. So that means is back to the default. Any value can be entered into any cell now. Any value can be entered into any cell. Now, let's quickly validate our data here. We want date in this column.
Please, sir, I'm sorry, sir. Can you show me where data validation is on your screen?
Data tab, beside text to column. Beside text to column. Yeah. Yeah, we just finished now. You see beside it, data validation. Put your cursor on it, you will see. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so on the date, let's quickly validate date here first. Look at my screen, everyone. I selected this column under the date. Then I go to data tab. I click on data validation. And you see here we have any value. I will not click on this drop down and click date. Date. I'm changing it from any value to what? To date. So only date can enter this. If I click OK, so it's asking the date is between when and when. We want the date, any date within 2024 only. 1/1/2024 to 31/12/2024. 24. We only want dates between these two. So there is, for somebody to make mistake and type 2021 error, 2023 or whatever, can be, we'll be able to save that. Click OK. Again, select the range, go to data tab, pick data validation, change under allow, change from any value to date. And the date is between, we are going to use between. If you want to use another one, you can see other things you can use there. But I'm using between now. Between 1/1/24 to 31/12/24. Then click OK. So now look at my screen. Let me quickly try and put a date here now. 21/12/2024 is working. We have 12/1/24. Oh, sorry. You can see that there is an error here, and the date. It will. I will not be able to save this. I cannot save it. If you like retry multiple times, no, it won't accept it. Retry again. Now let me put slash here now. Okay. You can see that it's accepting it now. So let's use a date in last year, 12/12/23. It will never accept that from anybody. The date has to be what? 2024. Let me give you 2 minutes to try that. 2 minutes to try that, everyone. Okay, you get it. Type years to validate it and put a date there. Okay, good. It says the date entered for end date is invalid. Can you see now? Good. That means it's accepting. Is okay. The end date. I check your date very well. Maybe look at your date on your screen. Maybe your date is 13. Maybe your date is MDY. That is going to be 12. It's going to be 12/31/24. Check your date on the date on your system. If you're having the end date error, is that okay? Miriam, Agaba, your screen system, your screen date is MDY, month before the day. Go and check it. So when you are typing it, make sure you type month before the date. 12/31/24. Okay. Okay, good. I think people are getting it. Good. Great job. Okay, let's look at another one again. Now, we want the state to be here. These are Nigerian states. Abia, Adamawa, all these states. We have the state list here. And we want somebody, after typing his name, to write a state name here. We don't want somebody to type anything other than what? State. So how do we do this? Select this range now again. We want only what? State here. Click on data tab. Go back. If you have not done the first one, please stop and look at what I'm doing, please. Stop and look at this. You can always practice. When you get one, you can use that one to, you can develop that. You can use that one to learn others. So I've selected the range. Click on data validation. This time around, I want to use a list. The list now, this time around. I will not use date. I will click on list. So the list now, I cannot type the list myself. Abia, Adamawa, I can type all the list I want here. But since I have the list already, I can just come here and select the list and click OK. That's all. So each time I come here now, you see a drop down by the side. So you can now select your list from here and select the state where you are coming from. Can you see now? Or you type it yourself to work. But the moment you put something different, it will not accept it from you. Yeah, everyone, try this now. Try it again. You can try the first one or the second one now. If you are still at the first one, do it. Second one, you click a list now. Select the cell, go to data tab, test to column, click on list, and select the list. Hello?
I mean, the first one is showing the date to enter for the start date is invalid. I don't know why.
And so you check the way you write the date.
I write month first, 2/1/2024, and the end date 2 February 1st, 2024, and December 2024.
How did you write it? I don't know. I don't know why it's
two
saying
slash. I'm using /1 2024.
Did you put slash again? 2/1/2024 now. It should have 2 slash. So you should correct.
2/1/2024. And the end date 12/12/2020. Oh, okay.
Check your date very well. It's from your hand. When it shows you error, that means your date is not correct.
The 2024, it should be 2024 or ordinary 24.
It doesn't matter.
It's still showing the start date is invalid.
Change to 1/1/2024 now. Use 2024, use 24. Either of the
Change
two
it to
will give
today's
you.
date. You are using February, use today's date.
Today's date. Today's date. Today is 13, okay.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you use February. But before you use month first, you must always check the date on your system first. Your system date, is it month for? Hello?
Sir?
There's something wrong with what you are doing. There's something wrong with what you are doing. Can you share your screen? Can you share your screen with us? Let's see your screen and see where the problem is.
I'm sorry, how do I share my screen?
You see share screen option on your Teams. Go to Microsoft Teams. You will see
no, I'm
share
in your page
screen.
now. Share screen.
Go to Microsoft Sheets. Microsoft. When you go to Microsoft Teams, go to your Teams.
I'm in the page now. I'm where you
Which
are.
page?
As in where you are teaching us. Where you are teaching us.
I said share your screen to us. Let's see your screen.
I don't know how to share.
I'm explaining to you. I'm explaining how to share the screen.
Okay.
Click on you see when you open your Teams. Look at my Team now. Look at my Team.
Okay.
You see share screen here.
Okay.
Share. When you click on share, then you click on screen. Can you see screen on my own? Click on share and click on screen. Yeah, 2 things you are going to do. Let's see your screen and see where the error is. Because I think there are 2 people now. What about Madam Miriam? Is your date okay now?
Yes, my date is okay. It was the system date, as you said. So I've corrected.
So
thank you.
Check the system date when you are writing your date.
Yes, I'm good too. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. It's okay. So when you share your screen, I will see your screen.
The list.
So what?
Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Explaining the list.
Okay. Okay, we can see your screen now. Okay, we can see your screen now. Let's see what is happening here.
So this is the dialog box.
Okay. Yeah, type your date again. Let's see. Type your date. No. This is not slash now. This is backward slash. Use forward slash. That is where you are getting the error. Yeah, that is it. Use forward slash for date. Forward slash, not back slash. Yeah. Good. You're good to go. The other one again. End date. You're using backslash. That's not date. Yeah. Forward slash. Yeah. Good. Okay. It will work now. Great.
So
Why do you have date here? Delete all the
I
date
don't
here now. All the date.
even know.
Delete everything we have on that place. Delete it and type date there. So when you type any date here now, it will work for you. Yeah. But are you sure you selected the same? Yeah, just type one date. Let's see. If you show you, maybe you didn't even select anywhere. Type date now. Let's see. Type. Don't delete everything. Finish. Just type. Let's see what you have there. Type a date now. 1/1/24 and click OK. Is it working? Okay. Type on that wrong date now. Type 23. 1/1/23. Let's see what we have. 1/1/23. 23. Yeah. Okay. That means you didn't select the column when you are writing your formula. Okay. You didn't select. Select the column A completely. Select the complete column. Click on A. Click on that A. Click on A.
Click on it.
Yeah. Click on it like that. Click on A. A. Yeah. Click on it. Yeah. Now go to validation now. Validation. Because you didn't select it before. Validation now. Validation. Beside text to column. Okay. Click on it. Now click on that place. Date. And put the date now again. Date again now. 1/1/24 to 31 12 whatever 12 13 whatever. Okay. No, this is January. What you are doing is January.
Well, this is December 1/12 2024 December.
Is that your date? 31/12 now. It should be 30.
Okay, the last one.
Your system is month before the date, so you have to make it 12/31, madam.
Sir?
You must understand the date on your system. Your system is 1/12/24, which means the month comes first. 12/31/2024. That's your date. Your end date will be 12/31. Yeah. Yeah, because the month comes first in your system date. Click OK. Okay now. Okay, now go back to this date now. Click on that 2023. Click on that cell and click edit that one. Yeah. Edit it, type it, and let's see if it works now. It will not accept that again. Pick any date 2023 and any date 2023. Click OK.
Okay.
Can you see that it's not accepting anything apart from that again. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
That's how that works.
So
okay, so the second one we did was the state list. So you can watch that one after the class.
Okay.
Now let's look at the score also. Let's look at the score now. We have done the list. We created the list now by using the list instead of date. Let's look at the score.
We want between
we'll get there. We want something between 0 and 100. Something between 0 and 100. What do you call it? Go to data tab, data validation, and now we are going to use whole number. Between what? Between 0 and what? And 100. That's all. So for somebody to write 120 here would be a mistake. Can you see that now? So that's how that works also. Now for date of birth, assuming we don't want minor. We don't want minor in this case. That means whoever is going to register here must have been born before 18 years ago. Will be when? 2006, right? We want all the date, any date before 2006 here. Now I've selected the date of birth. Go to data tab, my data validation, Then I say date. The date must be before, that is less than, must be less than 1/1/2006. I just use as example now. The date must be before this date and click OK. Now let's put a date 1/1/2005. Accepted. 21/3/1998. Accepted. Now let's put 2/1/2007. Is that okay? So you can always manipulate all those options, and the more you use it, the more you are able to understand what you have there. Now, two more things to show you now. Please look at my screen, everyone. Look at my screen, please. Two more things to show you. One, when we have the state here, get it? Oh, let's go back to the date. Is the date here, the date of birth here. Let's go back to where we stopped. Go to data tab and then back to data validation. This is what we have. Now you see input message here and you see error alert. Input message, error alert. So input message here will show the person. Before the person type the name, you can say Nigerian state. Nigerian state. And they will now say, you can say enter only a valid name from the list of Nigeria state, or pick from the list below. Click OK. Now, each time somebody click on this cell, can you see that it's already given an end of what you expect? Oh, this is date of birth. Sorry, but you can. So that's what it does. Huh? That's what the input message will do for you. So you can put a note there so that when somebody is clicking on it, the person will have idea of what is expected to put into that cell. Is that okay? Now, let's look at the other one again. Go back to that tabs. That's the first thing I want to show you. The second thing now is the alert, error alert. We have error alert. There are three error alerts that you have here. We have stop, warning, or information only. So the stop, what I've been using all this while is stop. When you do the error, it will not accept it, it won't allow you to go. Put anything there, anything you put, it will not go. Because it's what? Is on stop. It will stop you. It will stop you. You cannot do anything. Now, let's now see the other one. The other option, which is warning. What does warning do? Warning will only warn you. It will only warn you. And if you say yes, it will carry go. For example, let me click OK now. Now let me put 123. It said the value does not match the validation restriction. Do you want to continue? Yes. So when I click yes, it will accept it. It only warns you, and you can say yes or no. So when you use warning, it's going to give you yes or no. At the same time, you also have an information there that you can also put here. Let's say we have data tab again. Okay. Let's come here. Let's select this, and somebody will type data validation under the error now. Under the error alert now, I want to put please check the state name is not a valid Nigeria state. Okay. So when somebody make a mistake and they type something here, let me see, please check. The state name is not a whatever. If you like, try as many times as possible with one answer because it's on stop. It will not accept that. That is on data validation. So we can always explore it as you can always explore it and explore and explore and explore and learn more after the class. Are we good? Okay. Then we move to data structuring. Data structuring. Data structuring. Data structuring. Wow. Voila. Data structuring. So, please, a minute, please. Okay. I'm back. So let's go look at data structuring, the structure of the data. When you talk about data structuring in Excel, we are talking about creating a table. You have to make your data a table. There are two ways. Your data will always come in two ways, either as a table or as a range. This is a range. This is just a range of cells. Remember our named range. This is just a name of a range of cells which you can use. You can work with something like this. You can also work with it as a table. And in most cases, table will give you something, it will make your life simpler. It will name all the columns by itself, and you can do a lot of things with tables. So let's quickly look at this. How we're going to create a table. There are ways by which you can create a table. The shortest method is by using Ctrl T. The shortest method of creating table is by using Ctrl T. Ctrl T. Select the data you want to create the table from. Just select anywhere within this data. Ensure there's no space between them, like this. You want to match together. If there's a space between them, you have to select everything like this. Or there's a space between them in terms of column. Make sure you select everything. But if there's no space, between them, just select a cell is enough and press Ctrl T. Press Ctrl plus T. Ctrl T. Ctrl and T together. Click a cell, press Ctrl T. Now you have a dialog box. It's asking you, where's your data? Yes, it has selected the data. Okay. If it's not correct, delete what you have here and select it yourself. It's asking, does our table has an header? Yes, they have header. This is the header. Department, category, October, November, December. If it doesn't have header, you remove this. Assuming there's no header there, you remove this. But since it has header, you highlight, you check this box and click OK. So now we have our table ready. That's a simple way of creating a table. Just use Ctrl+T and then your table is ready. If you want, you can also select it and create from the home also. You can create a table from here, format as a table, and format your table as a table, or you create format a table here. This is a table. Table here. Click something like that, it will change to a table. Okay, now what we want to do here. The benefit of using a structured data are these. One, you have here, if I click on this, down here, I can say, okay, I want to create a summation here. Okay, let's say I want to create a summation here. Okay. Okay, let me delete this. I want to create a summation here. I can just say, okay. Let me allow you to create a table first. Everyone, let's create a table now first. Create a table first. Select your data and press Ctrl+T. Let's create a table first, everyone. Let's create a table.
Please, sir, can you explain that table again?
Just click on it and press Ctrl+T. And click OK. Press Ctrl+T and press OK and click OK.
Hello, sir.
Ctrl+T. Hello.
Please, can you explain the table again?
I've not done anything now. Just press Ctrl+T and press OK. That's all.
Okay.
That's how you create a table. That's how to create a table first. Let's create a table. So if you are done with your table, type yes. You are done with your table, type yes. Mr. Michael, are you getting it? Mr. Michael?
Yes.
Are you in the class?
I am. But I'm in the
yes.
class, but at home with my kids, so I will go and go
I
through
can hear
everything.
yes now. I can hear yes from your good daughter now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But again, Mr. Geoffrey, let's create a table. Ctrl+T. Okay, Mr. Agbola. Mr. Agbola. Oh. Are you following?
Where are you?
Please, you can be muted, please, Mr. Geoffrey. Kindly mute yourself.
Done.
Now, so once again, to create a table, just select this, any cell, and press Ctrl+T. Then make sure this your table has header. This box is checked. Look at my screen, please, and click OK. Our table is ready. Now, when you have a table, please look at my screen, please. Look up. You're going to see design here. You see table tool. You're going to see table tool or table design. You will see it here. Click on that table tool and change the name of your table. Let's name this table. Let's call it supermarket. Supermarket and click OK. Yeah. So instead of having it as what do we call it before? Table 1, the name is now what? Supermarket now. That's the name of this table. So when you click on this design again now, you see that the name is now supermarket. Can you do that? Name your table now. Click on design and name your table. Click on the table first. You see the design. When you don't click on table, you not see the design. You can see that it has gone up. Click on the table and you will see the design. From the design, you will see on the left side. Okay, even the name is wrong. Supermarket, capital S. Should be there.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
In my workbook, I don't have data structure on me.
Is there. Beside, after data validation, you must have it. Yeah.
It's not there.
No, it's there. It's the same thing. Everybody has the same workbook. Check very well.
It's not there. I can share my screen for you to see.
Everybody has the same workbook. Madam, check very well. Data validation, data structuring, subtotal.
It's not there. It stopped at data validation.
Shift to the right. You still have more. Look at my screen, Madam Anna. Look at my screen.
Okay.
You can click on the 3 dots beside data validation.
Look at my screen first.
Okay, okay.
Have you seen my screen?
Yes.
You see this arrow here?
Okay.
Can you see this arrow?
Yes.
And click on it. Click on this arrow to move.
Okay.
Or you click on these 3 dots at the extreme right. 3 dots will expand what you have next.
Okay.
So everybody has the same workbook. Okay, welcome. Okay, good. Okay, now we have named this table, right? When you are working and you want to call this this name, let's say here now, we want to sum this column for October. What do we do? Equals to supermarket. Just like the name range, can you see that it has selected the entire supermarket now? Now let's press the square bracket on your keyboard. The square bracket on your keyboard beside the enter by the right side, beside P. When you click on this the square bracket, you're going to see the list of all your columns. Let's try it out. I've not picked any list now. Just type supermarket and select a list and just click on the square bracket. Let's see what you get. You have the list. If you don't have the list of your columns, let us know. If you have it, type OK in the chat box. You have the list dropping down. Click OK. Type OK in the chat box. Type super equals to supermarket. First thing you name, make sure you name your table by going to table tools. Next thing now, let's call out the name of the table and press square bracket. Open square bracket. Open square bracket. Does it give you that? Hello? Have you done that, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it giving you the square bracket? After the square bracket, can you see the list? So which means that from here, you can actually do anything you want to do. Let's say you want to count now. You want to count this, close the bracket and click enter. Yes, it's going to give us error because there's no something here. Let's say you want to count. Let's start with count function. Count. and they want to count supermarket, want to count the categories, supermarket, the square bracket, and category. Yeah. Close the square bracket and close the bracket.
I'm lost. I'm lost.
You're lost. Why?
Yes.
Where were you? So we can quickly find you.
Can you please refresh from where to name this thing, to rename the table from design?
Have you created the table first?
Yes, we've created it, but to rename it is where I'm lost.
Okay. Click on the tables, huh? First.
I'm there now.
Have you clicked on the table?
Yes.
Now look at your bar. You will see table tool on your bar, on your tabs rather. At the extreme right, you have a new tab now. Can you see a new tab on your screen, on your Excel?
A new tab, I can't see it.
After the home, insert, page layout.
A new tool. Yes, I can see a new tool. Table tool.
Table tool, right? Click on that table tool. Click on it.
Click on it.
Now, what's on the extreme left? You see table name.
Table
2. Now, change that table tool to supermarket or any name of your choice.
Okay.
That table 2 now, change it to any name of your choice. That is how to rename the workbook. Is that clear?
Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
Okay, so you can mute again, sir. Okay. So now, I said with that now, it's already muted. Okay, thank you. So with this now, we can now use the name from anywhere. The table has a name and the columns. You can now count. Can somebody tell me why we are getting 0 here? We want to count all the categories, but we are getting 0. Can somebody tell me why we are getting 0? We just did it today. I want somebody to tell me why we are getting 0. Why are we getting 0? Somebody tell me. Why are we getting 0?
Because it's alphabetical.
Because they are what? They're alphabetical. Yeah, good. The alphabets, not numbers. So if you want to count text, what do we use? We use count A. With this now, we can see, okay, we have 8 categories. Now, that is one. Another thing, one of the benefits of using this is that when you have an analysis to do, let's say you want to sum things together and you want to add a new month now, Jan. Let's say I want to add a new month, January. I can just click. The moment I add something to this, it forms part of the table. So when you're talking about the table now, this is part of the table. Unlike range, if it's a range and I want to change my formula, I will have to go and I want to add something. I have to go and change my formula to get what we have here. For example, let's say now I want to add something again to this place. I want to add the bakery again. Bakery again now. Can you see that it has added it automatically? So which means that if my total before, okay, let me quickly do something here. Let's sum October. Look at me. Let's sum October together. Sum supermarket, square bracket, October, square bracket, close bracket, enter. Control Shift 1. Okay, let's say we sum this thing together. These are what? Our October sales. Now we now discover that we have omitted 1 or 2 sales. Let's add daily again here. We omitted 1 or 2 things here. Then we come here, we write 1 million. Can you see that automatically the figure has changed here? Automatically, it has changed because it's part of what? Table. Okay, let's say we add 500,000 again to it. How you see now? 1.9. So the structured data will expound itself. Will expound. As we move on, it will expound. But range, if it's a range that I used here before to sum together, I have to go and be editing my formula every time I added something to this table. To the range, I must go back and edit my formula. But in this case, you see that we don't have nothing to do with the data again. It's already in a structured form. Now let's look at the
How
table
do you
again.
add? How do you add that bakery and deli?
I just type it there. Just type anything after it. Make sure there's no space between it. Once you add anything, the table will expand itself. Fish.
If I type under meat, it will expand immediately.
Automatically. Anything you type will become part of the table. Anything you type, you can see where I'm adding it now. Anything you type will become part of the table automatically. That is why it is better than using range when you are working with data. Except in some cases, range may be easier to use, but in most cases, it's always good to have your data in a table form. In most cases, it's always better to have in a table form. Is that clear?
That's fine.
Okay, good. Now, let's click on the table again now. Click on the table again now, and go back to the design. Let's quickly look at one or two things from here. From the left side, assuming you want to change the range of your table, you can use the resize option here. Look at my screen, please. The resize option, you have the resize option here, which you can use to resize where your table covers and where you want your table to be. You can just delete this and select which table where you think your table should stop and click OK. It means that all these ones are not part of the table any longer. Can you see them? Now when I click on them, no table tool. So you can resize your table by using what? The table design tool, table design tools. Also, you can summarize before table. We'll do that one later. We can remove duplicates. Let's say you have a duplicate on the column. Want to remove duplicate? Select the column and remove duplicate there. We can convert back to range. Assuming we don't want a table again. We have a table before, but it's giving us challenge. We want to convert it back to range. Select your table, go back to design, and click on convert to range. So when you convert to range now, it will take the table off. Look at it now. I click on it now, no table tool again. It's a range. Even though you're looking at the color like this, it's just a range. The color is just there, but it is a what? It's a range. So let's back to table, click OK. Now back to the design. Then we have slicers. Sometimes you can use slicers. Maybe you want to okay, let's say, let me pick something like this. Instead of filter, you can use slicer for a filter. You want to see all category, all bakery sales only. Want to see bakery sales? Just click on this. I want to see the bakery sales now. I want to see daily sales. You can click on daily. I want to see meat. You can click on meat. Produce. So you can always pick whatever you have from here by using slicers. Instead of using filter, slicer make your job faster and neater. You want to select more, than one. Sorry. Okay. You want to select more than one, just click on this multi-select here. This multi-select, you can select more than one with it. So let's remove this. Let's remove this. Can you see that we can remove some now and have just two? Want to have this and have this. So the same thing with category also.
Sorry, please, where
Let's
do
say you
you
want to
get the slicer from?
you're not looking at my screen. Why? My system is, my Excel is collapsing. Why? What's wrong? My Excel is doing some more. You're not looking at my screen. That. Always look at my screen, please. Always. When I say look, so that we will not be dragging ourselves backward. We are away. Okay. See this. Click on this. You see table tool here. See the table tool. From this table tool, you will see slicer here. Can you see slicer now? On that table tool, you see it there. The slicer. There. That is it. Okay, so you can see, okay, I want to see beef. I want to see all the sales from beef only, from bread only, from chicken only. So you can always filter based on your slicers. Okay. Also, oh God, what's wrong? Okay. Now, back to this design. So you can also add a total row. The header, you want to show the header, you want to show the header, you can see that the header has gone. Bounded row, this line that comes in between them, you can make it, you can show, you can unshow. You want to add total row, you can add total row. Can you see there is total now here? And this total now, I can edit it. Can you see what we have here? I can find minimum, I can find maximum, I can use anything. Average, count number, this, all this and that are there. Same thing. You can add total row. We have total row to it because okay, I want to see the sum of all this. And the same thing here. That's the total row. So you can always add your data and total rows will shift downward. So those are the things you can do with your structured data. So I think now before we move to the next one, I think we can have like 10-minute break. Let's have like 10-minute break. Let everybody have stretch their leg, and then we can resume and continue. So 10 minutes, everyone. Let's have a kind of break and then join back again. Thank you very much. Okay. We are back. Okay. Omidi G, you have a question. Omidi G. Hello? Can you ask a question? Omidi G. Okay. Miriam, you said if you show you a formula. Which formula are you talking about? Oh, you're okay now. Okay. So if you are set, type set in the chat box. Now we're back. Okay, let's see the formula for the October. Okay. October formula equals to, okay, let me rename the table. My system collapse. Shut down then. Call it supermarket. Make sure there's no space when you are creating a name. Equals to sum supermarket, or the name out. Use the square bracket to pick the month. Square bracket again and close the bracket. That's all. That is it. That's the formula. Now, are you set? Are you back? If you are back, type set in the chat box, okay? OS again is back. Thank you, Mr. Geoffrey. OS again is back. Okay, with you, I said you have a question. I said ask your question. Set, okay. Ibrahim, set. Thank you. With you, your question? Do you still have question or there's no question again? Before we move to the next topic. Okay, let's move to subtotal. No, so subtotal, we use subtotal when you want to summarize your data into different headings. For example, now, let's look at this. We want to see the contribution of each of these salesperson. Or you want to see the contribution by segment. You want to see all the segmental sales. How do we do that? Using subtotal function. Now, where can we find subtotal? You see, on the formula tab, order, you see, is it formula tab? The tab, where is it? Okay, check your data tab. You see subtotal function here. Subtotal. When you see subtotal function here, click on data tab on your data tab, and click on subtotal. So this is where you get subtotal. You want to sum. What do you want to sum? And based on what? What do you want to sum? And based on what? Get it now. I want to sum each salesperson. I want to sum the quarterly sales. The quarterly sales, quarter 1 to 4. Based on the salesperson that we have here. So in that case, I'm going to select salesperson. And I want to do sum. What I want to do is a sum, not average. I want to sum what? I want to sum the sales of quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and total. So, okay, let's click OK now. This is what we have. You can see the total of RT sales, total of Army sales, total of annual sales, bond total. You see total of each of the salesperson. You see their total here. Again, let me do it again. Click on your data. go to Data tab and select Subtotal. Can you try that out, everyone? Then pick a salesperson, sum, and select the column you want to sum. Then click OK. Once you are done, type done. You have question, ask your question now. You are done, type done.
I didn't see this total.
See this subtotal is there. Take your cursor over everything you have under the outline. You see group on group subtotal. But ensure when you're working with subtotal, your data must not be in table, must be a range. Those are the few limitations, part of the few limitations where you cannot use table. So with a click, you have everything summarized under. You see the total under each of them. Have you seen it now? Subtotal. Click on it. Yeah, click on data before you go to subtotal. Data, subtotal, then you select this. Everyone. Once you are done, type done, chat box. So it will sum them based on their names. Salesperson. Who is done? Done. You are done. Okay. Done. Okay. Who again is done again? Who again is done? I want to see done. Done. You have question? Ask a question now. Before we move.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Hello. Yes.
So before we do the subtotal, are we going to highlight first?
Just click. Just click on the data.
All the
Just
data.
click on anywhere. Just click on anywhere, or you can highlight if you like. Anyone. It's not compulsory. Okay. Okay, that's that. Now look up again, everyone. Look up again. There is something you should note. There's something you should note. Please, let's be muted, please. Noise coming from someone there. One thing you should note is this. Because we wanted to use salesperson before. What if we want to sum based on segment? We want to sum based on the segment that we have only. You must make sure that the first thing you do before you use subtotal, you must sort your data. You must sort your data first before you do that. So click on this, click on sort, either A to Z or Z to A. You must first sort. You get it now? If you don't sort, it won't give you what you want. Not give you what you want. What you want to sort. So you want to sort this, click on sort. A to Z or Z to A or anything you like. It will sort. So after you've sorted it, then go back to data tab now. Click on total. Now, instead of salesperson now, let's use segment and click OK. Now you can now see the total of each of the segment. What we made from each of the segment: automotive, chemical, and manufacturing. That's how to use subtotal in Excel. Then remove. How do we remove duplicate? To remove duplicate, we're going to use the same tool, the same data tool we are going to use here. There's remove duplicate above data validation. Just above data validation, you can remove duplicate from there. Let's say you want to remove duplicate from here. From here.
Hello, Akim, refresh that segment data source.
This one, right? Okay. I said the first thing you do is the first. Okay, hold on. Something here. Okay. You first sort this. You sort this first. Let's say, okay, let me sort this one. This one we had before. For now, we have this one sorted as this sorted. Now, we want to sum based on the segment or city, whichever one you want to use. Anything you want to use for subtotal, you must first sort it. You must rearrange it. In this case, I rearrange A to Z. Automotive, chemical, and the manufacturing. You can see that they are well arranged now. Then I can now go back to my data tab, seek my subtotal. I will select segment here. That is at the change of each of the segments. I want you to sum quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 4, and you want the summary to stay at below. If you like, you can remove it. Click OK. The summary will come to the top. Automotive total at the top, then followed by this. Now, if you like, you can also collapse this. You can collapse all this, and you can see just the subtotal only and you can expand again. You can expand again, and you can expand. So that is what we did. That is, you must arrange what you want to use for your what do you call it, subtotal before you go ahead with subtotal. Remove our subtotal. Now it's back. If you want to use city, you must make sure you first sort the city. The city must be sorted, then go ahead and use subtotal. Mr. Geoffrey, are you okay now?
Fine.
Okay, thank you. Then duplicates. We are going to use this. We are going to do the same thing. Use the same tool, data tools, data tab, data tool. You see remove duplicate here, just above validation. So you want to remove duplicate from anything, you can just select from which column. Is this something, if you want, they want where they are equal in all ramification. In this case, it means that we want to check where all the columns are equal and click OK. Only 2 of them are found to be duplicate. Ctrl Z. Let's check. We have this and this to be the same. DD 10 40 16 and this. So these two were cut off and it's left with the other ones. Let's say we want to check duplication for the cell here only the name. We want to see only the duplication in the name only. Select everything again. Go back to the setup, click on remove duplicate, and you only check the name only. It means that any duplicate name, any name that duplicated will be taken off. Let's click OK. You can see that now we have 3 removed. We only have a unique name only in this data set. Only the unique name are there. So that is how to use remove duplicate. Select the cell. Okay, go to the tab. I want to remove duplicate from which other one here? From physics. Let's say from physics only. So we are going to use this physics score to check everything. Okay, let's say physics scores and click OK. Only the 2 unique numbers will stay. Every other thing will be taken off. That's how to remove duplicates. Then we have the last 2, which is the number formatting and the conditional format. Okay, number formatting is one of those things that make your job to look well formatted when you are working. Let's look at this data. This is a salary payroll. This is a payroll salary whatsoever. Assuming you want to submit this to your boss, do you think this is presentable? Can you unmute and talk to me? Can somebody submit this to his or her boss or whatsoever and say this is the payroll for the month? Hello?
No, sir, it
No.
will be better to format it.
Why? Why? Because we need to format it exactly. So formatting, there are a lot of things we do under formatting. When you look at this option here, this font is everything here is for formatting. Everything here is for formatting. Everything is formatting, even the style also. All these are for formatting. If you right click and click on format cell, you see 4 options here also: name, alignment, font, border, and fill. All these are what? They are for formatting. But for the purpose of this class, we are going to focus more on numbers. Okay, but okay, let's quickly look. Let's start from here. Let's say this header that we have here. Want to centralize it? We can. There are 2 options to do that. You can click on merge and center, which is which is more popular among most of us, or you can use merge across selection. Press Ctrl+1 and under alignment, click on center across selection and click OK. It's going to give you the same thing, except that while the first one has matched all the cells together, this other one, all your cells are still independent of each other. The cells are not matched, but the format is showing as a matched cells.
Please rephrase this last statement. This one, center across section. How do you get it? Ctrl+1. What is Ctrl+1?
Ctrl+1 will open format cells. This format cells button will open. If you don't know,
Sir,
if
how
you
do
don't
you
remember
select
Ctrl+1,
just only that row?
select the first one, hold your shift and arrow key.
Shift
So
and
the
arrow
last,
key.
oh yeah, right arrow key, your right arrow. But make sure you hold your shift. It's okay. You can press Ctrl+1 or you right click. When you right click, you see format cell. Can you see it now? This format cell now. Under the horizontal, you see center across selection. And click OK. That's it. Is it clear?
Center across what?
Selection, yeah.
Where is it? In Ctrl+1. We can't see center across this thing. It's Ctrl+1.
You see general, you see on the horizontal alignment. Ctrl+1. Look at my screen again. See under alignment, you see horizontal, right? Under the horizontal, you see, scroll down, you see center across selection there. Have you seen it now? You can't see it. Look at my screen.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I can see it.
You see it now, right? Good. Okay. If you cannot see it, just look at my screen. It's still here displaying. Okay. So the
Hello,
difference between
sir.
the two is that
Hello, sir.
yes,
I'm
yeah,
lost. I didn't get this part.
you're lost.
Yes.
What did you get there?
Like this new part, this session.
The number format.
Yes, number format.
Okay. The only thing we have done now, we are just merging the center first. If you don't get it, have you select the entire range here, and use the option here. Go to Home tab and merge, and click on Merge and Center. You get that? So I
Okay.
just gave you another option of another method of doing it. So either you use this or you use this. You can see that both are looking alike. Both are looking alike, but why this one has merged all the cells together, this one does not merge anything. All the cells are independent. The cells are still there, but here the cell has been merged to be one. That is the difference between the two. The reason why this can be used sometimes when you want to insert a column, when you merge and center, your Excel can refuse to expand some things because some things have been merged, some columns have been merged, and any attempt to insert something will disorganize the range. In that case, just go back and use the merge across selection so that you can insert your column and continue with your job. I'm sure most of us must have encountered that. If you work with Excel often, you have encountered something, you want to insert the column and it's telling you that you cannot do that. So this one also, you're supposed to format this also. You can put it in the center and bolding it or whatever, all those things. We are not going to do more of a text function now, text formatting now. Okay, you can increase the font here, increase the size, give it a color if you like. You can give it a color. You can do all those things in your analysis. Now, let's quickly go back to the numbers where we want to do, which you are interested in. Look at this number here, phone number. I hope you will notice that when you start any number with 0, the 0 will go off. You want to check. You want to write the check number 0003467. When you immediately you click enter, the 0 will go off. How do you fix that? One, when you have one or two number you want to format, that's no problem. You just put apostrophe here and put 0 here. That's okay. It will stay. It will convert the number to text. Can you see now? With this small apostrophe here and everything, it has turned this to text. So if you click on this, you see number store as a text. That is a way of adding zeros first. But when you have a long list, it's going to take a lot of time trying to put apostrophe and 0 in front of everything. What do? Select your data, press Ctrl 1, then go to number format. Select custom, select a 0 here, and I convert it to 11 zeros. Since your phone number is 11 digits, just type 11 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Now you can see that all the numbers now are now formatted as the numbers. Even though when you look at it, it's still like the old number, but the format is in format is shown like a real phone numbers. Can you try that, everyone?
Practice, can you try repeat the process
Again? Okay, I've selected the range of cells. Can you do that, everyone? Now select the range of the cell first. If you are on your system, you can select the range of the cell and press Ctrl 1. We are under phone. We are still on phone numbers. Press Ctrl 1 Then, if you have done that, click on custom. Select a 0. Now, make sure you type, make sure these zeros now are 11 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. I put space. 1, 2, 3. I put space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have how many zeros now? 11 zeros. So with this format, this is how my number is going to look like. Can you see sample here? You see sample at the top of what when you are typing the type of 0. 11 zeros. You see samples there with 0 at the beginning. Then you can click OK. Your numbers will be formatted like numbers, like phone numbers now. Is that okay? Any question on that?
Yes, sir.
Who else again? Are you okay with it? Or you have any question? The same thing with check numbers. The same thing with check numbers. If your check numbers are presented with 0.
Please, how to remove duplicates? I'm sorry to take you back, please.
No, you can't take us back. No, they can't take us back. I'm sorry. Let's say we have this, and our check numbers are 6 digits. The duplicate is not much, so it's just like 2 minutes or so when you check the video, the recordings. Sorry about that. We have a lot of things to learn on this. This is more. This area is very, very important. This area we have is very important. Okay, so we have like 6 digits here, 6 digits of check number to be 6 digits. But you can see that when we put 0 at the beginning, the 0 will go off. What do? Just select the range of the cell, press your Ctrl 1, then go to custom number, select a 0, and type 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And click OK. All the zeros will be there. When you click on it, look at what we have here. 5, 6, 6, 7. Click on this. We have 5, 4, 3, 2. But in format, I see the format is exactly what we expected, where we expected to have analysis. Is that clear? That is the first way to ensure that we have a number formatted, like check numbers, or in any way. When you have, especially when you have zeros at the beginning of your data. Now let's look at the higher date here. I'm going to select the higher date. Look at this date very well. No decimal point, nothing. Let's press Ctrl 1 again. Ctrl 1. You see general. That's the format we have currently. If you want it to be in a number format, you click on number, and here look at the sample of what we have: 37050.00. And decimal place is 2. You can make it 1. You can make it 3. You can add as many decimal as possible, and you can make it no decimal. The third thing you have here is use 1000 separator, comma. I said we now have comma now after 37. If you remove it, the comma will go off. So add this to it, and click OK. The number are now looking like real numbers now. So in this case, you got to use all this format for other ones too. So they will be uniform. All your numbers must be uniform. You can select all the numbers together and just apply a single format to it. What if we want our format to be currency? If we want to be currency, press Ctrl 1. Then we'll have currency option here. Here you can now select the same thing that we did earlier. You can make sure you increase the decimal point, or you reduce it, or you just leave it like that. Then scroll down and look for the currency of your choice. Let's say you want to use Naira Igbo and click OK. You can see that now we now have the Naira sign in front of all the numbers. And if you look up, there's no Naira sign here. 28,795, no Naira sign. So when you formatting will not change how your number is looking. Rather, formatting will show how it is displaying. Just the display only that format will affect. It will not affect your data. But if by mistake, let's say you want to add this now, you can always add this together. You can add all this together and it will work for you. But if you mistakenly type with hand and put Naira sign in front of something and want to add it, it's not going to add because it's a text and it's going to affect the figure you have here. But in the case of formatting will work just like as if there is you put it there yourself, but you are not. Yes.
Akim, look at that
Yes,
higher date. That higher date, is that figures there? I supposed to be on date. Why is it in Naira?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's it. That's one of the areas we are going to look at too. Let's quickly do away with the numbers. We'll come back to date. Thank you very much for that observation. Okay, is even the one I put on number? Okay, no other. We'll come back there. Okay, so that is how these Naira signs work. The same thing with accounting format too. Control 1, you add accounting format, and you select your currency. Select your currency and click OK. Now, the difference between the two is that in accounting format, your currency will stay away from the number. While in currency format, they stay together. In accounting, they stay separated, but in currency, they stay together. So whichever way, it's just the way it's going to look. It doesn't affect what you have as a number, and it doesn't affect any other thing. Okay, now let's see again, Control 1 again, and see what we have again. Date. Okay, let's talk about date now. Let's talk about date. When you have date in numbers, what happened is this. You see, the date, your date started from, or Excel date started from 1/1/1900. 1/1/1900. This is where the Excel date started from. So when you see a number under as a date, when you see a date that is typed as a number, for example, today's date. Today's date, which is 13/1/2024. If you make it, press Ctrl 1 and turn it to general. It means what? It shows 45,304, which means that the number of days between January 1, 1900 and today is 45,304 days. You get where the number come from. Each time your date change to number, that means it's calculating that date from 1/1/1900 up to the last date, that as of today, which is 45,000 days, 364, after the 1/1/1900. This is 1 itself. The 2 is 2/1/1900. 3/1/1900. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up to 45,000 number of days between that day and this date. Okay. Now, when we now have your number like this, what do? You just go back to your Control 1 again. 1 again and select date. So you have various type of date that you can select from. You can pick any of these as a date. You can pick any of this as a date, and you can also change, like those people who are having like 1 month before the date, because maybe you are using US format. You can also select format. You can want to show your own like this, like that. You can always change the format. So I'm going to leave it as United Kingdom. So I want it to be 14 March 2013 and click OK. Look what we have. That is it. If you want to do more to this, press Ctrl 1. So instead of using dates now, you can go to custom. This is the date we have. See the date type we have here. You can say, okay, I don't want it like this. I want to remove this. I want to remove everything from for the date. The number is a date is English and the Great Britain. Okay, you can see that we still have the same thing we have before. Nothing has changed. What if we want the date, instead of having 4Y, to be just 2Y? Can you see? If you want the M to be just 3M or just 2M, can you see the way they are reacting? What if I want to have a slash, double slash between them? So wherever you put under this custom, you will see sample here. If you click OK, it's going to format just like that for you. Back to Ctrl 1. What if I want like this? Okay. Now I want to remove this. Then I want to make this removed. Then I want to make like this. I want something like this. D, which is Friday. I mean, now when I change it for 4D, it becomes Friday. If I change to 3D, it will be Friday. Okay, I make this one Friday, comma. Sorry. Comma. D, comma. Now say 08 March. Yes. I make this one for YY. So the same number we have been, you can see we have been able to manipulate the same number every time and click OK. So all the formatting is between M, D, and Y. You can increase the number of M, you can reduce the number of M, number of D, number of Y, and you can interpolate them. It's going to give you exactly what you have. As you are changing it, just look at the sample. The sample at the top will show you what is happening to how your data is going to look like at the end of the day. That's how to create, that's how to format your date. Can you try that? Let me allow you to try to format your date. If you have a question, you can ask your question now while people are practicing. If you have a question, you can go ahead with your question now while other people are doing practice.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Please, I don't understand that date formatting.
Date formatting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Select your date, the date you want to format. Select everything and press Ctrl 1.
Okay.
You see date option here. On that number, yeah, and pick the date option. Yeah, that is the simplest way to do it. Just pick any date of your choice and do that. That's the way. That's the easiest way by which you can go by it. You can see you can change it. You can change location from US to UK, from UK to US, or for any area you want. That is the simplest way by which you can change your date. If you want to do more, you go to custom and you now begin to toy with what you have here. You can see when I reduce to 2, see what we have. I make it 3, see what I have. We have 4. You can see my hem now. If I change it to 3 and 4, can you see? I see we are looking at the sample as I'm changing the number of M or
Okay.
number of G. So as I'm changing it, it will be changing. I remove one, this from this. So that is other things you can also do with it to make sure it's formatted in the same way of your choice. The same thing applicable to H and M to hours and minutes and seconds. Sometimes you had seconds, you can remove it. You can do anything you want to do with your date and time.
Excuse me, sir. The 2001, is it fixed?
Nothing is fixed.
Okay. Thank you.
It's fixed. Yeah. I see other month. It's just sample. It's just showing you sample of the first one. It's showing you how your data, how your result is going to look like. That's the sample. So if you are okay, you just click OK. If you are not okay, you keep editing it until you get the desired format of your choice. Okay, let's look at one more thing under this. What if you have a 2,560,567? This is your sales. You have these sales, but you want to summarize this in thousands or in millions. What do you do? Or you want to reduce, maybe you have a loyalty, whatever. Maybe it's even in billions, and you already have 0, this at the top. Or like in 6, you have this is 1,000, which means that everything you see here, you must add 1,000 to it. Now, how do we make this one? How do we show this in thousands? It's very simple. Go back to your control 1 again. Control 1 again. Go to custom, and after this 0 that you have here, put the comma. When you put the comma, see what we have here. See what we have here? It means that we are making it, we have removed TD0 at the back. Put another comma again. When you added 2 comma, it will be in millions. When you add 1 comma, it will be in thousands. Click OK. It will show in thousands. But when you make it 2 million, when you make it Control D, when you make it 2 comma, it's going to be what? Oh, sorry, that is 2 commas. It's going to be what? In millions. It means you have 2 commas off. Yes. If you want to add something to it at the back, double quote K, double quote, so the million will be M, double quote M, double quote. Click enter. You have 3 M, which is approximately 3 million. If it is in thousands, you can do the same thing. Let's say we have something like this. Let me remove one here. We have 256,567, and you want to know how many thousand we have. Control 1 is there. Then we change this one. Just add double quote K, double quote, enter. You see that the text will show at the back because we have edited, we have put it in that text. But looking at it, our number still remain our number. Everything we are adding, our total will be correct. Unlike when somebody will remove the 30 and now be using manual method to multiply them. No, this one will show your number, but everything formatted in millions or in thousands.
How did that 3M show? How do you install that 3M? 3 million. This 3M, how did they?
That's what I was explaining. You see, in front of this comma 0, this okay, let me first remove what we have here. Let's return it back to general number. This is the number we have, right? Is the number. Are you with me, sir? Press
Yes, I'm
Ctrl
looking at
1.
it.
Look, press Ctrl 1. Click on custom. Now, just under this, just pick any 0 here. This is sample of your number. Now, I said add 1 comma. It will take the last 3 numbers away. Add another comma again. It will take the next 3. You get it now? This shows that it's in million. So when you had, if you add another one, it's in billion. So, but for millions, you're going to add 2 commas. Then I click on space, double quote, M, double quote. That's it. I just put M in double quote, and it's showing me 3M here. Exactly. And then you click OK. Then you click OK. When you click OK, the M will show. Make sure you put the M inside double quote. Inside 2 double quotes. Same thing with K here. Press Ctrl 1, and after 1 comma we have space, and if you don't put space, no problem, they will be together. 265 256K. But make sure you put K or M or B inside double quote. Yeah. If your data is in billions, then you are going to put 3 commas. 3 commas will be there. 1 comma for thousands, 2 commas for million, 3 commas for billions. So one good thing about all this formatting is that it doesn't affect your number. Look at the number is still there. Number is still there, but what is you are looking, or you want to add something to like kegs. Let's say you want to add something like keg, like unit 25 unit, 35 balls. You can also do the same thing. As it is like this, press Ctrl 1, Ctrl 1, go to your custom, and at the end of any number you pick, any format you pick, but number will not have decimal. Just put double quote, ball, double quote. Okay. 23 ball, 45 balls are there. While your 45 is still showing as 45, as 43, but looking at it, you see balls there. But you can sum it. When you sum it together, it will give you your number as you want. Enter. 68 balls. But if you mistakenly type ball with your hand and you sum it, it will not sum. It's going to turn into, it's not going to be a number again, but the text. Any question? So I think we're going to stop here today. It's already 2. So let's quickly do a kind of recap. So we started our class with basic functions in Excel, the interface, how does the interface look like, the basic interface server. We have the basic functions like sum and average. We talk about other basic functions, talk about named range, then reference, absolute and mixed reference. So, like I said, please note this area very well and make sure you practice it very well. Test to column also very important. You have to take note of that. So many times you copy something, you want to split there. Instead of writing it one by one again, just use an array of test to column, split them into different columns once and for all. These are validations where you can validate name, date of birth, numbers, and whatsoever. The first time I encountered the data validation was when I downloaded an inventory something from internet. So when I was inputting figures, I didn't know that they have validated it to be 10 million. And I want to add an asset. Okay, no, not inventory, it's an asset register. Yeah. I wanted to add 25 million asset to it, and the thing refused to accept from me. I struggle until I have to go on the internet and check what can cause it. And I came across the validation on the workbook. So it's very important to understand how, and this will also limit the kind of error people will put in data. So when you want to do analysis, it will be easy for you than to have add different numbers, different things, which will take 1, 2, 3 days for cleaning before you get your data, you get your hand on the analysis. Then we talk about data structuring, where we create a table and how to call up a table, mixture of table, and do some kind of formatting with your tables, and subtotals, remove duplicate, number formatting, and the last one is kind of formatting. We're going to start from that tomorrow. So if I would advise that you take your time. This course, we want to learn a lot of things within 10 weeks. So we are going to dedicate much time. Please, at least every day, try to dedicate at least minimum of 30 minutes to 1 hour every day. If you can do that, you will not be left behind, because to sit down and watch the class might be too lengthy for you or for us. So let's ensure we don't miss class. For those of us who have made our payment, let's ensure we don't miss the class. And those of us who have not paid, I will encourage you to try and pay. It's a lifetime opportunity. Whatever you learn it. You can pay if you like. You can pay an instrumental, fine and good. But we want all the money, all payment to be concluded before the 4th week class. Whoever is still owing us at the 4th week will not be allowed to continue with the class. Or maybe we have 1 week, 2nd week, 3rd week to make all our payments. You get it now? So I will encourage you to make your payment. You can pay in instrumental or you pay in full. It's just 6,000 naira. If you check around, if you check online, check around, with what we have, they cannot even give you up to what we're going to give to you. And then you can see the number of the amount of money you're going to spend on all those courses. So it's an opportunity. Don't let's waste the opportunity. Try as much as possible to grab the opportunity now. Thank you very much for your time. Any question before we call it a day? Do you have any question? Hello?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the class.
Thank you. And I'm Anna. Any other question? Anybody question? Okay, without any question.
I'm learning from US.
You're learning from US. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, Madam
Thank
Anna,
you.
right?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay, so I will get across the recordings to everyone so that we can learn. So tomorrow we are going to meet by 1:45. Let's keep the time.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for the lectures. Please, I don't know if this is recorded. I don't know if I can have the recorded version because I came in late.
You will get the recording from the group.
Okay.
Okay, are you going to send God the group?
Yes, you're going to get in the group. If you are not in the group yet, you can join the groups, the WhatsApp groups.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.